What is up, everybody? Let me know if any of the audio is messed up, like delayed or anything. I spent a lot of today twinking audio settings in OBS trying to get my capture card set up, and it was a nightmare and it took hours, and the issue I was having was resolved by turning it on and off again. So that was a really productive use of my time. Anyway, at least I got it set up now, so if I want to stream Armored Core or, you know, whatever the hell, I can do that again, so that's good. Okay, let's see if we can get the damage CE on Protoku now, so we can fail. I'm doing all this so he can fail at the challenge quest compared to regular Ku, by the way. Like, that's the whole reason for getting it, but I'm only... Wait. Is this my ult account? If it is, I'm over 50k. Wait, no, you have to be 70k. Fuck. Sorry, you need 50k if you get a CE drop. You need to be 70k if you don't. And my ult account has never gotten a CE drop. Damn it. Do you get treasure chests for these bonus stages? You do. Okay, we'll do these, and that will probably get me enough points to just get the craft essence that way. And then we can, see how bad Protoku is. In truth, though, Protoku is not bad. It's just regular Ku's better. That's all it is. Protoku's pretty good now since his buff. Like, he's solid. If anything, like, and actually, I want to test this. I really want to test this. I need to use a 70 Ushi and a 70 Protoku and compare them a lot in a lot of different scenarios. Burst, longevity, last man standing. I want to kind of, because I bet you he's actually around where Ushi is, and Ushi is, you know, if you're on par with Ushi, you're a really good 3-star. So I bet you he compares pretty well to Ushi and 100 phase and that kind of stuff. They've lost. Dude, that emote is just so good. And like listening to this music and with that emote, it's incredible. Why is Kama dressed? I mean, you know, a million extra summer costumes that you can't actually have in game. Okay, this is the crab. I kind of want to do this legit. Let's go Chiron. So no event CE, no armor ignore. Let's see how we do. You know what I'd love to do, chat? Unfortunately, Cairo is a casual and has Armored Core on the wrong console. But I would love to stream Armored Core because I haven't played it in years. So I'd love to stream like Armored Core for Answer and play through it again, and then have Cairo do that as well. And then, like, along the way, we could PvP each other, because that game has, like, you can 1v1 and stuff. And so, like, every, like, so often, and like, at the end, you know, you fight each other, like, 3 or 4 times as you're both, you know, playing the campaign. But he has it on PlayStation, so we can't do that. Armored Core 5 exists, it's just not that great. And then you have Armored Core Verdict Day, which is better, but it's not that great, but it is much better, I would say. But regular vanilla Armored Core 5 is not really a game I'd want to stream because it's just not that good of a game. Which I hate to say that, but it is what it is. Can't all be winners. Now 6, yeah, if they ever made 6, that would be good. I'm not sure if they'll make another one or not. I think they will eventually, though. I mean, they've even said to Armored Core fans to be patient. Like, they've said things that kind of imply that they're wanting to do it still. But I think it might be a while, and we'll see. It kind of just depends on how things go. The thing is, they've become a bigger studio, right? They make a lot more money than they used to. And that means they're going to want to keep making games that have mainstream appeal, right? Where mecha games don't, you know, they're kind of, you know, a few of them every once in a while are pretty big hits, but they're not like a mainstream thing. But some large studios sometimes do side games that are smaller, you know, less developers, smaller budget, all that kind of stuff. So it can happen, you never know. Yeah, I know the guy that headed up a lot of Armored Core stuff doesn't work there anymore, but that doesn't mean the company won't necessarily make another one, so we'll just have to see. They still have frequency, and that's the important part. Okay, Chiron time. Let's see. Not a great turn to crit, but I might cast the Star Bomb anyway. Got 8 stars. I think he makes 15. If I cast it now, I could potentially cast it again later. If only I could have made a couple of stars on the previous turn, like if I made it up to like 15, so I hit 30. You know what? RNGesus, let's go. That did not work out. I mean, we got a 70%. I mean, to be honest, a lot of mecha games have never broken into the mainstream because a lot of mecha games are bad. I mean, I'm not trying to hate, I love mechs and everything, but a lot of mecha games are bad and they're not designed very well. So that's a big part of it. Yeah, the story in Tales of Arise is pretty rough, and I gotta stress this, I did not go into Tales of Arise wanting to dislike the story. Quite the opposite, I was rooting for that game on all fronts, and I'm still enjoying it overall, but the writing is just not good, and like Tales of Zestria is another Tales of game that I think is a horrible story. You know, there's definitely been some other Tales games that had really bad stories, but I really do think Arise's writing is messed up. And it's a real shame because I think the premise is good, I think the character concepts are good, I think the voice acting is fine, but the story is pretty low on my list. And like, here's an example, right? Not to go on too much of a tangent here, but I was talking about it last stream about like how they had that whole bit where, you know, the female lead gets captured, you know, you go to save her, and then when you go to save her, you know, she's kind of evil for a second there. But like, it was everything about that was meaningless. There was no reason for the bad guy to capture her. He didn't even care. He didn't get anything out of her. He didn't kill her. He didn't torture her. He didn't gain some power from her. He didn't even try to keep her. He didn't give, you know, you just show up and she rejoins the party. It's like, why would he even bother? Like, why would he even bother? And then, like, there's literally no reason for her to be evil for like 7 seconds there. It was just like they had decided we need this dramatic moment where you gotta, you know, win her back over. It makes no sense. Where they've had moments like that in other Tales games, but it actually makes sense, right? Like in Vesperia, right? They had a similar situation, but the bad guy did it for a reason. He actually gained something out of it. You know, it's just a lot of cart before the horse riding that makes no sense. Yeah, because like, it was Estelle, that was the name. You know, the bad guy kidnapped her for a very specific reason, and he accomplished his goal, and blah, 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 right? There's like reason to it, where in Arise, it's like they're filling a checkbox. So we are getting destroyed, and if you don't have armor ignore here, it's pretty rough. Or the damage CE. The damage CE might help too, but the combination of no armor ignore plus no damage CE. I mean, we NP'd for 17k. That is a rough time. Yeah, there's some archers that have ignored defense, like, I mean, Emiya is a classic example. I'm trying to think if there's a more fun way that we want to approach this, though. You could always do double salami, right, stuff like that. Lost, are you here? Cause, are you Fujino? Yeah. Lost, didn't you say you did this with Fujino without the damage CE? I can't remember, cause I have to imagine it's not that hard for her, because she has not only armor ignore, but it counts for her normal attacks too, so it's pretty simple. If all you have is the command code for armor ignore, it'd be pretty hard, unless you did the damage CE as well. But 600k is still a lot. It's straight deletion? Yeah, I have to imagine. I can't think of any reason why she would even need the damage CE. Well, we're not gonna survive until the NP. Let's see, how long do I have the defense up? 2 more turns? I guess I wait to do the invulnerability. Maybe we get lucky here. I just want to see how far Chiron can get. Honestly, he's not doing that bad. I suspect if he used a lot of other archers here that didn't have armor ignore, they would just get totally bodied. Another way you could do this without the event CE is using the armor ignore command, CE, not command code, the craft essence. There's a couple of craft essences that have it. Is there any world I can live 1 more turn? Well, I can use the baby heal and hope for the best. Just don't do 3,000 damage. Yeah, it's another thing. You get the buff block as well. Woo, that was close. Alright, well, we actually lived to do the invulnerability at the right time. I think I can get 1 more NP here. But I'd work in a quick... Wait, doesn't he stun? Although I can remove it, because I don't think we got stunned earlier. I think we guarded it. Okay, this is very greedy, but I want to try to get a crit turn before I die. I need you to punch me again. Oh man. I really need to ask Maniac to change the emote to 98 instead of 99. Dude, it's always like this. Well, at least we can go out with some crits. This is honestly a respectable performance though. Like, I really think if I just grabbed a bunch of random archers, most of them would not do this well. He almost made it to the halfway point. Even with the damage CE though, I think he would have lost there. Are you wanting to show off Fujino, Beastly? Because we might as well. You know, Beastly, don't you have esports Fujino, like a level 81 that's 10-10-10 or something? Because maybe we show that off and see, because I bet you she's still, like even more vanilla, I bet you she still smacks it. Can we get like a level 80 with like a regular craft essence? I do on my ult? Yeah, let's try that. That's kind of spicy. And we'll use some random stuff today. I'll set it up. Let's see what we got here. I might already have an invite. So there's your main. Is that your ult? I think it is. Let's see. I'm starting to work on coup on various levels. It's getting a little silly. So basically right now I've got an 80 coup at 10-10-10. I've got a 71 that's not 10-10-10, but I could get him there, but I need Lancer gems. The problem is, oh god, I have to use Lancer gems on regular coups passives. Because those, just fuck the coin system. Anyway, and then I've got, so I'm working on a 120 coup, right? And then my ult account's gonna have 100 coup. So when I get enough Lancer gems, I'll have a 120 coup, 100 coup, an 80 coup, and then a 70 coup, right? I'll probably change the 81 though to 90, because I feel like that's more of a, I don't think that many people put coup at 80. I think he's either 70, 90, or 100, right? I think that's the typical ranges for him. But it's just nice to kind of mess around with things like that. So what happens if you unlock the passives on a unit, your other versions of that unit will get the passive, but they won't get the rank ups. And I don't feel, so unfortunately I can't, you know, manipulate it as much as I would like. So like the 70 coup will have his passive skills, but they won't be ranked up. But overall it's okay, because as the game goes on, a lot of people will have the passive skills on the 1 to 3 stars. So I don't mind that much. But it does kind of suck that you don't have like as much control over that as you do of other things. And it really sucks for 4 and 5 stars, because then you really can't. Because 4 and 5 stars, you know, if you don't have enough copies of them, there's just no way to get coins. Like in the short term, it's actually easier to get coins for the golds, because you get them retroactively. And for 1 to 3 stars, you don't. So early on, it takes ages to get anywhere with the coin system for 1 to 3 stars. But that's temporary. As the game goes on, it gets easier and easier for the 1 to 3 stars, where the 4 and 5 stars kind of just stay the same. What's stronger, level 100 with 10, 10, 10 passive skills, or level 120 with no passive skills? It depends on the unit. It just straight up depends on the unit. Because some units are going to get a lot out of the extra attack boost and the counter class thing. Right? For example, let's say it's Ku, right? Let's say it's vanilla Ku. Ku likes to last man stand and solo a lot, so he's going to extra attack quite often. Now, Ku is still really good in team play. That's something I think people just really miss. Ku is still amazing in team play. So you might be a player that doesn't solo with him a lot, and then that's going to be less good. But let's say you're going to use Ku for Fluffy, right? For Lost Belt 6. So at that point, you're way better off having the anti-berserker thing and like the extra attack thing. And there's just a lot of situations where that might be the case. However, in more just straightforward team stuff, where you're not going to be extra attacking all the time, you're not fighting a berserker, you're just doing straightforward, you know, buff stacking or protect the unit and just get raw value in the challenge quest or something, then it's definitely 120. Because 120 just makes your NP do so much more damage. And having more health is good too, but that depends. But yeah, ultimately it depends on the unit. You know, some units, they're all about, oh, I want to be able to NP on turn 1. And then having that extra 20% battery and things like that, that makes such a big difference, right? So even if they were 120, they're just gonna overkill the break bar. Who cares, right? Who cares if you overkill the break bar by 10k or 40k, right? What's the difference? So sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. So I would say that for most units, 120 is better. I would say definitely for most units, 120 is better, because it's just a lot of stats. And then 120 kind of has a trickle-down effect into your other things. It makes your extra attack hit harder because your attack stat is harder, makes your NP hit harder, all that stuff. But there are a few units where the passives are better, definitely. But yeah, case-by-case basis. But I think if you added it up for every unit, I would say 120 is more important. Okay, so this is just, wow, I love this. This is perfect. She's NP2, right? Like that's like the 4-star that's so, hey, I kind of like this unit, but you're not going ham, right? This is a well upgraded Fujino, but it's not unreasonable. There's no grails, you don't even have the passives unlocked, right? This is super vanilla Fujino, so I want to see how this does. So we don't even have golden sumo, right? We don't have some niche crazy craft essence. Now, anyone in their right mind would be doing this stage with the event CE, but that's casual. Yeah, I don't see stage 2 much. I generally see stage 1 and 3, and I think that's because stage 1 is what she wore in the movie, and stage 3 is weeb, right? So those are generally the popular ones. I think Fuji knows all of her stages are good though, and she's a lucky unit because she actually gets variety, right? Like between the 3 stages, you have a lot of options there, where a lot of units through 3 stages, it's like, is this really that different, right? I like Fujino stage 3 because it's red. I mean, it is your namesake. Guess I do damage here. Yeah, Hot Wheels has good options too. And Kidu does not, and Ishtar does not. I feel bad for Ishtar fans. And on the one hand, I laugh at them because Ishtar, but Ishtar's ascensions are terrible. I mean, they're so terrible. It's like, you know, I guess that's why they gave Space Ishtar so many options, because it's like when I summon an Ishtar, I can't even tell which stage it is generally. I have no idea. Okay. Do I just fire everything? I feel like I fire everything. The only thing I might not use is the second skill. Let's see. I made 9 stars. I'll use it because I have Atlas. That art is mighty tempting. We got, if I had Merlin, I would absolutely do it. Huh. We gotta do the damage. Just crit. Just get the RNG. Coin flips, let's go. So I think a big part of why Ishtar's Ascensions are so bad is because she came out with Babylonia, and Babylonia, they added so many units at the same time. Even if some of them weren't rated up, they were added into the game files and they were like completed. So Merlin was added then, King Hassan was added then, Taiga, Gorgon, Ishtar, Castergil, Enkidu. Actually, Ishtar was already added, but they were obviously making her with Babylonia. She was added in like that event like right before it or whatever. But it's obvious that she was being made alongside the Babylonia stuff, right? All that stuff was being worked on around the same time, and they just added her early. And you had Quetz, right? There was just so much stuff being worked on at the same time there that, because you can see it, it's not just Ishtar. All of that stuff in that period is kind of lazy when it comes to their ascensions and stuff. Like in Enkidu, they didn't really do much. Even Castergil, they don't really do anything. Gramps, they don't do a whole lot, right? They're all pretty simple because they just added so much at the same time. Enkidu, they actually patched to be a bit better. His third stage used to not have the feathers or whatever they are, the glowy stuff. He didn't originally have that. I think Ishtar's probably lazier though than Enkidu, because I feel like hair length change is more significant. I mean, she gains shoes. Like, that's it. She literally went shopping, and that's it. And it's that's it, right? There's like nothing happens, right? All the attack animations for all the characters are all the same. Gorgon was probably the best off because at least she had like the white one that was pretty different. But yeah, they're all pretty lazy, I would say. Like Castergil's pretty lazy too, honestly. Yeah, Castergil got the costume later. No, just don't crit with anything, Fujino, it's fine, right? You gotta show off that you don't even need the crits. Also nice damage nerd, also nice buffs. Look at that triple no effect. What is this unit, by the way? Like, what is this? And like, it's so broken. I feel like I could just face tank his NP. Especially if I had my NP and we could have double attack down. I kind of want to do it just to see what happens. Like, clearly we should do the invulnerability, but I do kind of feel like we'll take like fuck all damage here. But if I cast the invulnerability, we could potentially end at full health, which is kind of nice. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just see what happens. I'm trying to heal myself. Hopefully I get my NP from this. Maybe I should have done art. My Indu, thank you for the 1-year sub, man. That's a long time. I feel like most of your subs happen when I am not streaming, because I remember your name, but I definitely don't remember seeing it pop up 12 times. But I appreciate the support, man. Okay, it did 3,000 damage, right? That's something. Wait, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I could have removed the health thing now. Now we're just throwing. I mean, it's not gonna matter. We're gonna win anyway, but guys, I'm trying to lure this thing into a false sense of security. I want it to think it has a chance. So even if it NP'd again, I think our gut still gets that turn, so it wouldn't matter. And he is definitely going to die before I just don't get why they gave Fujino so many niches. I mean, I don't mind, it's hilarious, but it's like she's got anti-large, she's got sure hit, she has buff block, she has armor ignore for 3 turns. Like, it's just so many things in one place. I can't even think of a boss who's like, oh no, Fujino doesn't have a niche here. That generally never happens. So if I had done invulnerability on the NP turn, we would have full health right now. Like, absolutely, and we're pretty close to having it anyway. Look, chat, I threw, and it does not matter. Like, on a very fundamental level here, it does not fucking matter at all. If that boss was harder, the one thing you might need to do is wait 1 turn to reapply the guts. To just make sure it lines up with the NP and stuff. So you could delay it 1 turn, but you definitely have the help to delay it a turn. That'd be the only thing you need to do. Now imagine, that's level 80, level 80? Level 80, that's level 80 Fujino. Now imagine 120, and then every time you extra attack, it's doing way more damage, and you know, all this nonsense, right? Yeah, edgy Fujino. Okay, let's see, what do we got? We got all these blue ones. Do these give chests? Because that's all we need is chests, essentially. And I think we can buy the other challenge stages. That so sucks, Beastly, that you have to wait that long to make her 120. Although, to be fair, it's not like Ku's really going any faster. My Ku's 104, and I have 4 Grails or something, and I can't use them. Like, here, I'll show this. Wait, I gotta bring up my other account, but the state of my Ku right now, there's a reason why I rolled so much recently. I was just so sick of it, and I wanted to at least get his 3rd skill, because he kept doing fucking Berserker stages, and I'm really glad I got his 3rd passive unlocked. But yeah, now I'm kind of just stuck, and I can't go anywhere until I roll again. The state of Ku, yeah. Alright, here, let me get on my main real fast. I think the 1 to 2 star fans overall are gonna beat the 3 star fans. I think 3 star fans win if they wail, or they had just saved up like, you know, 3,000 SQ and actually found something they wanted to use that SQ on. Because the thing is, I had a lot of SQ, but I don't have a lot of reasons to roll right now. You know, I use like half of my SQ, and it got me about half the Ku copies I need, but I don't have a reason to roll right now. So yeah, look at this. So, you know, I did that big rolling spree, and I got lucky on FP and everything. I got really lucky, honestly. I used like what, 600 SQ or whatever, and in that 600 SQ, I got way above the average amount of Ku copies. I mean, I really got them a lot, so I was very fortunate, and I spent, you know, well over 1 million FP, and I'd gotten a few copies that way, and I've just got these 2 skills, and that's it. And then look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I have 10 out of 120, and you only get 15 fucking coins from getting a Ku copy. I'm not even close. I'm not even remotely close, and that's just the 1 passive. That ain't nothing, right? Because then I've got to do this nonsense, right? And you only get 2 levels, right? And look at this. I can't even do that. Like, it's gonna be a long ass time before Ku gets anywhere, and it's just super obnoxious because, you know, if you're like a big 5-star fan, and even as a free-to-play, right? Because I know this, I have free-to-play accounts where I just really focus on a certain 5-star, and over the time I just keep rolling on them, and you get them to a high NP rank, they retroactively get the coins, and they can just boom, you know, go. Now, it's not good for golds either, because you really do need an absurd amount of that. You need more than NP5, which is dumb, right? It's bad for them too. But out of the gate, they can get a lot done and be really upgraded and be like, hey, check out my, you know, ultimate unit. Where if you're a low star fan, it's just, it's nothing. Yeah, I could get Ku to Bond 15. How many coins do you get on a 3-star from Bond 14 to 15? I don't even know. Because when they did it, mine was already 14 and he's still 14, so I haven't actually seen the amount of coins that I'll get from that. But when I get another, 750k, 20. Oh man, yeah, dude, going from Bond 14 to 15 is doing like Bond 1 to 10 like 1.5 times or something, right? Like it's so fucking awful, and you get 20 coins. Yep, that'll save me, boys. Don't worry, I may just get this 800k Bond, and I can grail him to 106, and then I get like 30 more copies of him, and then you get his passive. Great. While I'm over here, let's have I done my FP summon today? Gotta get those bronzes. Okay, I have. Chat, I'm really hoping, like, I want any excuse to get coup copies right now, because I want coup at least 110, right? So I'm hoping, like, it would be so nice if, like, for some bullshit reason, like, regular coup gets to be in an event soon, so he just, they kind of throw in 3-star rate up sometimes on, like, units like that, even though when people don't even need them. But, like, maybe they rate up, like, some new 4-star that's, like, kind of cool. They don't even have to be super cool. Just give me, like, kind of cool, right? And then coup gets rated up too, right? And then I can get my coup copies, right? Like, that would be great, but, yeah, dude, Saber Wars 3, New Year's, Halloween, whatever, right? Just give me something to work with here. Van Gogh, don't even joke about that. Yeah, that's not what is going on right now. Let me just start this stage, and is this Taiga? This might be Taiga. Yeah, I've noticed Samsung Dex messes that stuff up a lot of the time. Yeah, this is Taiga. What do we want to use? Let's see. It always gives someone the anti-beast command code and then not the damage CE, then it's pretty rough. What do I have on my own account? Let me see here. Then maybe chat will have something they want to show off. We'll see. We got Otto's Anastasia. Hot Wheels will, if he just has the command code, will do ridiculously well here. It's also so bizarre that even works. We have Babbage. That'd be kind of fun to see how far Babbage could get without the event CE. Or we could, and also we could do the whole like regular event CE because we don't have the limit broken one anyway. It's another way to do it. My Aussie's not ready because I'm lazy and I like never level my Aussie skills on any of my accounts. I really need to do that though. No, the Okita book hasn't happened again, but like the circumstances that caused it have never happened again. You have to fail a stage and all kinds of nonsense, so. I don't think Shiba can do it with the command code and the damage CE, because for real, the anti-beast command code gives you a larger damage boost than the damage CE. But like if you're gonna pick one or the other, the command code is better. And for those that don't know, for some reason, if you equip a unit with the anti-beast command code in this stage, it for some reason makes all of your cards ignore the gimmick. All of them. Makes your NP, your extra attack. You don't even have to attack with the command code. You could literally never use it, and it just existing in your deck somehow gets around a lot of the gimmick. Not the whole gimmick though, she still gets some of the barrier. This stage is whack. It is super whack. I could not even begin to explain what is going on here. Got 100 face. Okay, 100 face could definitely do it if you did like all the stuff, like if you did the command code and damage CE. I wonder if you could do it with just the command code. That's a pretty tall order, I gotta say. And you got maybe the non-limit broken CE. Let's try that, and then to see if chat has anything they want to show off. Cairo, did you ever test Baldy here to any extent? How did that go? He needs both? RNG with the BCC is possible. Yeah, I've seen a few units like that. It's tough though. If all you've got is one or the other, it really is tough. But yeah, it's pretty bizarre that the command code helps more than the damage CE. Enkidu is one of the only units I've seen that can do it with just the damage CE and then not the command code. And I'm not the only, and I get other than anti-beast units, right? Obviously, Proto-Coup and Super Orion can do it without the command code and without the CE, right? But that's not the same thing. I'm honestly not sure if anyone, I'm trying to think, who else might be able to do it if they just, and the thing is, Enkidu did it at level 90, right? He didn't need some crazy 120 nonsense. I think there's a few units when you really pump them up. Could like even Scath. I think Scath might be able to do it when you're really. I'm not sure Joan of Arc could do it. She might, because Joan of Arc is that busted. Joan of Arc would have to be like NP5 and that kind of crap. But if you really upgraded Joan of Arc, she had the right CE, and then she was NP5, she might be able to do it because she's that broken. But it would take like 9 years. And yeah, Mash might be able to do it, but that'd also take like 9 years because she doesn't even take the counterclass damage. And yeah, some foreigners could because of just the way foreigners work against berserkers, but that's also unbelievably boring. I think some foreigners would still fail it though, but I think most of them could do it because they're just taking no damage. Alright, let me get my command codes available here. Yeah, especially if you've got like any kind of survival or you've got command codes for survival, a lot of the foreigners could just go forever. But that really is not a value check, right? That's not what's happening there. Let's see. Let's go with buff success chance on quick, I think. I always question what card to put this on. Planetoria. Oh, that emote's really good. It reminds me of the like pun whoa emote and all that. I like how I've got that NP5 Planetoria. It's ridiculous. Alright, what to put on the art card? This is tricky. Do Star Bomb. Go for damage. We'll do Star Bomb. Cairo, we're gonna give you some trivia here. Cairo, what is this song from? You really should know, because I only know about this song because of you. So I'm curious if you remember what this song is from. Yeah, I only know of this song because of Cairo. Wow, yeah, Cairo got it first try there. And it's not like Cairo, that's not a game Cairo plays a lot at all. He played it like one time an ungodly amount of time ago. And obviously it wasn't super easy for him to figure it out there. It took him a second. I don't think he was even 100% confident that was correct. But he got it. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, I think you played that like 3 years ago. I want another Star Bomb. Alright, let's see how this does. So I bet you from what I've seen from Ku, I think for 100 Face to do this, she might need the command code and the damage CE. It's kind of sad though, because when you do the command code and the damage CE, it goes so in your favor, then it becomes kind of easy. Which kind of sucks, that stage is kind of whack like that. Alright. What do we give her? We could give her this if she, because the non-limit broken one's more interesting than the limit broken one, but we'll try without first and see how it goes. Alright, I'm gonna have faith in Taiga's hit count and go with this. I tell you, I am tempted to do 120-100 face because I actually think she benefits from it the most on anyone on this account, because the stats from 120, the raw attack stat affects your NP a lot. And if you reapply your NP like really often, that means you're applying that extra boost over and over and over. Yeah, 120 face. But seriously, like if the extra stats from 120 on her would be nutty. Like she'll just be applying it so often. Come on with this opening hand though. Fantastic, classic George coming in here. It's an emote for a reason. Don't worry guys, he's gonna make a lot of stars, like, I don't know, 8, maybe 7. Yeah, 7, there we go. Come on, give me a Brave Chain. Good enough. Sadly, we're gonna have to waste Merlin. I could not use it. Okay, so buff success chance. Do I want the extra stars from our first skill? I'm gonna say no and just hope I get lucky. I hate that I'm using that Merlin command code. So our damage is insanely low, but it is so much lower if you don't have the command code. I'm telling you, if all you use is the damage CE, this boss is absolutely harder to solo than the challenge quest. It's not even close. Like, it's quite a bit harder. Which is very bizarre. Alright, guaranteed buffs. Very nice. Terrible crit chance. If they made a ruler George, I'd actually hope they'd make him a 3-star and put him in FP summon, and then you could start, like, assuming you have a ruler if you want to start balancing some bosses around that. And, like, in terms of lore power, it doesn't matter, because first off, George is already nutty OP lore-wise, and he's just a 2-star, right? So that doesn't mean anything. And they've already got Romulus and Ku and things like that as 3 stars, so it's fine. You know, I'd be happy for Oberon fans if they just, Oberon, or what do you call him, if they added just actual normal Oberon, who is a ruler, right? Obviously you don't get normal him in the game, you get actually Vortigern, but yeah, it'd be nice if they actually added the regular one. I think a regular Oberon is unlikely, but has a better chance of getting in than regular Vortigern does. At this point, I don't think we're seeing regular Vortigern. Like, it's over, right? And I think anytime they do anything with Vortigern or Oberon, they're just going to find an excuse to make it the version that we have. Because he's just so popular. If he wasn't so fucking popular, I think there'd be a chance that you might see the other versions. But he is just so ridiculously popular that he's the only version we're ever going to see. Think we'll ever get Berserker Jack? Yeah, if the only way we won't is if Fate Strange Fake doesn't finish in time, right? But if Fate Strange Fake finishes in time, we'll definitely get it. I think the only reason we're not seeing the Fate Strange Fake people is because they're mostly waiting for the books to get done or near done. I do think though, because as the years have gone by, things change and Fate's become more popular. I do think we're going to see some Fate Strange Fake characters before Fate Strange Fake finishes, but it's not going to be a lot of them, right? And it's going to be, they're going to have to work with the writer and stuff, but he's actually worked with them before and made like interludes and stuff with Enkidu and everything, so I think we will get some of them early, but it's hard to say who. We are getting destroyed, by the way. It's like this stage is really tough. Guess I want stars, although we're gonna die pretty soon, so I guess I'll do damage. Yeah, like APOC, because the thing is, they kind of have to spread out when they add them, because it's not like they can do a Phase Strange Fate collab when the books are over and add all of them at once. That's just way too many servants, right? So they're going to be happy to find, if like, hey, you know, this character's kind of already done in the books, can we get them in early? You can write their bits and stuff, because he's already done stuff like that for them anyway, right? So maybe you get 1 or 2 characters early, and then when the books do finish, before the collab, you might get 1 or 2 of them in like an event. And then the collab happens and you get a lot of them, and then you get a couple other ones, like the stragglers later, right? I see them doing it kind of like that, because that's what they did with APOC, which also had a large cast, so. But yeah, as long as Phase Strange Fate gets its ass in gear, I think we're definitely going to see Berserker Jack in here. The guy that designed Berserker Jack even said he's excited to see how they put him in FGO because he is so abnormal. They actually made a design for Mothman that was more like normal. It was still anime, but it was a lot more normal. But it'd be cool if they made that a costume, but we can't have nice things, so I wouldn't expect that. Well, we're dead. She made it respectably far, kind of, but that stage is messed up. Let's see how she does with the damage CE. I don't think she'll win, to be honest. I think, because for some reason, when you have the command code and you have the CE, you still don't do full damage. Like, we've tested that quite thoroughly. You're still getting the damage resistance. Even though, what's weird is the game shows that you're not. Like, if the enemy's damage resistance is applying, it's supposed to show up as a buff icon when you attack, right? When it shows, like, what effects are applying. But it doesn't show up. But when you, like, do the math and look at your damage, it absolutely is showing up. So it's kind of bizarre like that. Yeah, I suspect something is just really whack with the way the command code works. Like, something is just going bananas. Yeah, and according to Atlas database, she actually has 2 passives, even though the game only shows 1. She basically has one that's 70% resistance unless the enemy has anti-beast, and the other one is 20% resistance unless the enemy has beast. But something is wrong, and like, one of them is still applying, is what it seems like, right? Like, something is still applying, even though the game is saying it's not. But yeah, for some reason, there's 2 passives in the code, but when you attack her, only one of them pops up. It's very bizarre. I suspect that they did not intend for all this weird stuff to be happening in this fight. They wanted it to just be, oh, if you have anti-beast, you ignore the gimmick, and that's that. I think that's what they wanted, but because this is a stage that no one really cares about, and you can obviously cheese it, which is the story support, I don't think they even realized how messed up it is. Do you think they'd actually let a servant reflect the in-game master preference with a servant like Nursery Rhyme or Pale Rider in the future? Nope. Takes too much effort, and they want the master to be a self-insert and things like that, so absolutely not. And the fact that Nursery Rhyme isn't different is just evidence of that. They're just gonna ass pull, oh, Chaldia something, something, blah, 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 right? Like, they always do stuff like that. Basically, Oberon is summoned, and then at some point his spirit graph is super damaged, and then the fairies repair it, but the fairies don't know he's Vortigern, and they think he's Oberon, because it like reminds them of him. So their perception of him being Oberon somehow kind of changes him to be a lot like Oberon, and then he thinks he's Oberon. But as time goes on, he starts kind of like becoming more Vortigern slightly. And that's kind of the whole shtick. But basically, he was summoned as Vortigern. His Saint Graph was just totally messed up for some reason, and it was kind of in Lost Belt 6, it was like altered to be like Oberon. So it's weird and dumb. It's an excuse to make Oberon edgy and then just shit on Vortigern apparently. So. But those fairies would basically just like butterflies, right? They weren't like the fairies you run into and stuff. And they kind of just does, hey, this thing's like Oberon, right? And that's it. It really doesn't make any sense, and I don't really understand why they could repair a servant Saint Graph anyway. If you were drunk, yeah, there's that too. One thing, I've looked at some of the translations, and it's not really clear because, you know, the different translators translate things differently because Japanese especially is a very subjective language and it's very context specific. I honest to God cannot tell exactly what happened. So basically, for either, I literally don't know. I've looked into it multiple times and I can't figure it out. Either, like 1,000 years ago before you got there, Lost Belt 6 World summoned its Vortigern and he died, and then later they summoned our Vortigern, or it summoned our Vortigern and then he died but didn't really die and then got repaired and comes back 1,000 years later, or it summoned him twice. I don't know which one it is. It makes literally no sense. Basically, something Vortigern related got summoned 1,000 years ago, got defeated. 1,000 years later, his Saint Graph has been repaired. I don't know if he was summoned again. I don't know if it's the same one. I don't know, right? Shit don't make any sense. But yeah, Vortigern was summoned. I don't know if that version was more regular Vortigern or that one was also changed to be more like Oberon. I don't fucking know. But yeah, Vortigern was summoned, got defeated. 1,000 years later, his Saint Graph's been repaired, and it was either summoned. He was either summoned again, and that one got jacked up, or it was the same one, and it was just repaired over 1,000 years. I don't fucking know. Anyway, but yeah, it's supposed to be Vortigern, but he got warped over time to be more like Oberon, and then he slowly started kind of being Vortigern again, and then we kill him, and he's kind of glad, to be honest. So, and I don't blame him. What a fucking shit show. Let's see. And see, here's the thing. The whole character arc that they did, they could have done without robbing Vortigern, right? And like a lot of people like all the conflicted stuff. People are just suckers for that. I've noticed something over time, especially the anime community, but I think it goes beyond that. I've really seen this. People are huge suckers for waifus that are like tragic heroines, right? Huge suckers for that, like, you know, Morgan and Sakura and stuff. Just massive suckers for that. And then there's super suckers for like the conflicted guy, right? The like anti-hero or villain that's like just, you know, super conflicted and especially kind of on the edgy bad side, right? Those things are so popular. Now, and that's fine. If people like that archetype, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. My thing is, like everything that they did. Excuse me. I was about to say Vortigern, and it gave me an allergic reaction. Right? My body rejects it. Anyway, everything they did with Oberon Vortigern, they could have accomplished without the Vortigern stuff, right? It doesn't even matter, right? You could have just had it be Oberon, and then you could have the will of the planet and blah 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 blah, and that kind of makes him, you know, be the, you know, eviler side. You don't want to destroy everything. You can have that be the conflict. There's all kinds of ways you could have that exact same conflict in character and not drag Vortigern into it, right? It's like, what the fuck? And or you could literally, and this is what Cairo's idea was, and I like this idea a lot more. You could have had, you know, Oberon get summoned, or the natural Oberon as part of Lost Belt 6, however you want to do it. You can have that be a thing, and you can have, you know, earlier on in the story where he's more genuine and stuff, you can just have him be that, and you can have him kind of get tainted or dragged in to with either, what's her name? Oh god, what's her name? Fairy bitch. What was Aurora? It dragged into the Aurora stuff, or, and I really like this idea. You could have had because I like the logic of why the world itself is just like, fuck it, we're summoning Vortigern, kill everyone, right? I actually really get behind that, and I think it makes sense. And if you look at like the lore that they described with England in the regular timeline versus the bullshit that the Fae do in Lost Belt 6. I totally buy that the land of England would just be like, fuck the Fae, we're killing everybody. I buy it. Like with what they do with Fluffy and how they run everything, and they like twist the direction the world is supposed to go in and everything, and like the land is like being on forced life support and all this nonsense. I totally buy the world doing that, but what they could have just done is had them just summon regular Vortigern. It is so contrived how they do this whole, they summon regular Vortigern, but then Saint Graph gets messed up, and then the phase, oh, he looks like he looks like Oberyn, and he's kind of becomes Oberyn, like, what? Right, that's just stupid, right? So they could have had Oberyn kind of end up in that faction and have that warp him as well, and you can have the same conflict of interest and stuff, and you can have Vortigern behind the scenes and be the big bad at the end. I thought it would be so much better. And you know that moment where because Lost Belt 6 is full of a lot of stupid not Camelot stuff and a lot of not England stuff, right? And so the few times you have normal Camelot / just that area of the world stuff kind of show up in a more normal setting, it's kind of awesome, you know, like Gwaine showing up and when they do some of the folklore stuff, right? Having regular Vortigern at the end, like regular timeline Vortigern be the bad guy at the end, and he's here to just end it all. That's so fitting for both his character, and it's such great comeuppance for all the stupid crap that happens in Lost Belt 6. And I think Vortigern deserves to be like that trump card that just blows everything up, right? Because when you look at what he is, Morgan is the more famous enemy, but ultimately Vortigern is kind of the bigger bad of Arthurian legend. So I think that would have been a great way to end it, and you still could have done the same stuff with Oberyn for the most part as well. Like I think they could have had their cake and ate it too there, where instead they kind of just bizarrely linked Vortigern to Oberyn for like no reason. And again, if you change Oberyn and just take out the equals Vortigern part, and you still have everything else with his character, nothing changes. Like literally nothing changes, so they didn't need it. Slap the cake or get a command spell for that? Okay. Let's see if 100 Face does any better this time. We don't have buff success chance, so RNGesus, just give me the art up. I don't even need the other ones. Of course! Of course! Right? When you're being pushed for value, right? Okay, when you're fighting Raiko, right? When you're doing Shimosa, Epic of Remnant, right? This is a practical, real time that you're going to want to use 100 Face. When you're fighting Raiko, she can beat it with or without the art up, right? You don't need it. If she misses the art up, she can still handle it at level 70, right? Because 100 Face is a damn good assassin, and she meets the value that you need to beat Raiko. Same for like Bull of Heaven. If you got 100 Face on a competent Bull of Heaven team, you can make it work even if she doesn't land the art up. Anytime you actually need 100 Face, she will work with or without the art up. But when you're doing crap like this, where you're pushing things to their absolute limit with value, and you think the unit probably can't do it, the last thing you want to do is have 20%, you know, be like, hey, what's up? Can't have nice things. But I'll give you the quick up and buster up, though, because you're going to be using those cards, right? But yeah, I've asked this before. I do not see what Oberyn gains from the Oberyn equal Vortigern nonsense, right? I literally do not see what that adds to the character, and how they could not have the same character beats and the same conflicted character and all that stuff without it. I do not see the only reason I see for it is so they can have a dumbass NP name called Lie Like Vortigern. That is the dumbest fucking NP name in the game, by the way. Like, oh my god. But yeah, I don't see any reason for it, and you can have the same character with the same characterization without it, right? And I think it would benefit from that. And I think Vortigern would have benefited from that. Yeah, I know, Cairo. It's like, and I like how Nasu, his explanation for doing it with like Kazu drop was just because she's popular. That's what he said. There's no lore reason for it. There's no character reason for it. There's no writing reason for it. There's no like character explanation for it or exploration. It's just, he just did it because it's popular. It's like, are you like, yep, that doesn't sound artistically bankrupt at all. Those interviews are kind of depressing, to be honest. I really wish we had landed that art up. Don't you? Ooh. Faux items matter, by the way. They're pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, Cairo. Oh my god. I honestly don't. I'm serious. I 100% think the reason that Tsukihime is not on PC is because they are stuck in a 1995 mindset where they're worried about piracy. That's and Japan is notorious for having that mindset when it comes to PC games. I 100% think that's what it is, and their whole you know, creator ego nonsense is just a convenient excuse. That's all it is. It's just PR, 100%. And they'll probably put it out on PC later, because a lot of Japanese games, like once they think they've gotten their sales from console, then they don't mind putting it on PC. And it's like, oh, if it gets pirated now, who cares, right? Like that's absolutely what it is. And the thing is, if they put Tsukihime out on PC, I'm sure it would have been pirated, right? But it was going to be pirated by people that weren't going to buy it anyway, right? And then way more people would have bought it legitimately on PC to more than offset it, right? And they would have made more money, like absolutely. So it's a terrible decision on their part. I have not watched the Green Knight movie, and I really want to, and the only reason I haven't is because it's really, like, really overpriced to buy it digitally right now, but it'll probably go down. I should check. It might have already gone down. Normally, once it's not in theaters, it goes down quite a bit to buy it digitally. I just haven't checked in a while, so I'll have to do that because I want to buy it, not rent it on like YouTube or something, and I want to, not get ripped off generally. But yeah, I really do want to see it because I know a lot about the Green Knight. And I've heard a few things from my friends that know a bit about the Green Knight, so I want to see how they handle a few things. I've heard though from people that do know the Green Knight stuff pretty well that there's some pretty good subtle references to like not just the main legend with him, but the other ones with him, which I actually really like because I think most people don't know anything about the Green Knight at all, but if they know anything, it's only the Green Knight and or Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, right? They don't know anything about the other legends and stuff. Yeah, sure, Cairo. That sounds like a good time. We should do that. Okay, well, if 100 Face was going to have any chance of doing this, she would need the MLBCE and land the art up. That's rough, though. That's rough. All right, let's see. What do we want to try here? I honestly, though, cannot believe that Enkidu can do this at level 90 without the command code. It's just crazy. If someone has a good Ash, I'll try it. I'm happy to try a good Ash out. I'm not sure, where should we try Ash? Should we try him? I kind of want to try him with the event CE first, because again, the event CE helps less than the command code. So I'd like to try it with the event CE, compare him to Enkidu, see how he does. Which I think we might have already done that. I think he failed. I think he got to like halfway, but then we could try him with the command code. Yeah, I think we did. I think we did try Ash without the command code. He made it to about half. And then, but let's do it again. If we could get, Arjuna, that's perfect because you've got a good Ash. If we could get him with the event CE, limit broken, and then normal good command codes, and then I know he'll fail, but we'll see how far he gets, and then we'll give him the command code, and he might be able to win. He might be able to win then. But seriously, this stage is a bitch to solo for a lot of units. Like even Ku, if he only uses the event CE or only uses the command code, it's really close and he can only win with good RNG. Now if he uses both, then he can win pretty smoothly. But if you do the a limit broken event CE and the command code, it's not too hard to do. Oh, okay, we can do that real quick. We could use Beastly's. While we wait for Arjuna to set that up, we could use Beastly's. Who you know? I'm assuming she doesn't have the event CE, but she has the command code. I'd like to see that, actually. That'd be pretty cool. Wait, I gotta add you. Hold on. But yeah, this is obviously just my opinion, and I'm positive what I'm about to say does apply to some people. Obviously doesn't apply to all people, and there's literally no way for me to know which individual person it does and doesn't apply to. But I know there are people out there like this, because this is just a very common thing. A lot of people like, be it Morgan or Oberyn in Lost Belt 6, or they like both, right? They like that characterization. But that characterization has nothing to do with Morgan or Oberyn or Vortigern. And then when they hear the criticism like that I level at it or other people level at it, you know, because they like those things, they reject that criticism, and they don't, like, a lot of people they didn't even like Morgan going into it, and they don't know anything about Vortigern or Oberyn, and they just like the basically OC character that was made up for Lost Belt 6. And that's fine. It's completely okay to like those characters, but you should also be able to see why it's not really treating those, you know, characters fairly, and how there's, like, literally, if Morgan was just named, you know, literally anything else, you know, it doesn't change the character. There's no reason it needs to be Morgan, and there's no reason it needs to be Oberyn. And then I think it's actually worse for Morgan. Well, I don't know about that. Vortigern is altered so much more than Morgan is. It's really fucked up. It's like unrecognizable to anything that has to do with the regular legend, or anything that has to do with how they had described Vortigern and any Fate media prior. However, with Morgan, how do I put this? It's like she had a lot more Fate material going into it, right? Morgan had been detailed a lot through a lot of other Fate media, where Vortigern had only been in Garden of Avalon, and well, a little bit more than that. He been mentioned a little bit in like Fate Hollow and stuff. And they kind of hinted at him in various things a little bit, but Vortigern had been in a very few Fate media. Although I guess the thing, Vortigern was in the flesh though in Garden of Avalon, right? He had a voice actor and everything, where Morgan was never really in the flesh in anything. She was just mentioned all the time, right? She was mentioned and characterized a lot through other characters and through character material books and Fate Hollow and APOC and so on and so forth. So she was brought up frequently, but she was never really in the flesh, like talking to the camera at any point. Alright, we might actually do Hot Wheels first, just because... Did I add Beastly? But Morgan would have been popular if it was Catherine the Great, or, you know, an OC like Chloe and Emilia and stuff. Like those characters, you know, what their character arc was about and what their, like, how their portrayal was and everything, they were going to be popular just completely regardless of, you know, who they were and stuff. So I'm kind of like, why just delete the chances of getting the regular version of those characters? It kind of sucks. I don't really get why I'm not getting Beastly here. Oh, there we go. You just gotta say something. Oh boy, yep, there we go. If you're not gonna use the event CE, that is generally the best stand-in. Alright. Guess Atlas. Song is always so loud. Okay. Good opening hand. If I have to waste my cooldown, I'd like to use it on turn 1, because by the time I need it, it'll be back. Natsu these days just seems to look for excuses to make things weird, which I don't care for. If you want to make weird stuff, like, make it OC, for crying out loud. And they make lots of OCs, and they're popular anyway, right? Everything from Zig to Chloe and Emilia and Wadine, Pepe, right? All those characters are super popular. I just don't see the need to, you know, fuck up already established characters all the time. Should have done the Buster card first to just apply the burn. Okay. We only have 3 stars. I really don't think we used the second skill then. Oh fuck, we don't have our NP. Right, we're using the Yang CE. Oh my god, I thought I said Canis CD. Everything's messed up now, right? You got Canis, and I don't know how the Yang CE got mixed into the mix, but somehow it did in my brain, so it's all a mess these days. Alright, let's make stars. It'll get worse if they add Canis into the game. I want to know, if he's here, I want to know. The user Canis, wait, yeah, that's the name. Canis CB, I want to know if they added a Canis servant, would he roll on it? Right? Would he you know, get every aspect of the meme? I'm quite curious. Wow, we took that much damage? Damn. I wish having the attack down would have helped there. All right, let's do this now. I don't want to do art because of the crit chances. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, Tiger don't fuck. I'm telling you, man, if you don't bust out all the stuff to fuck with the gimmick, it's really hard to solo this. The thing is, Lost is a bitch, and he rats me out every time I say it if he's not here. Like, the few times he's not here watching me, Lost is like, I got you, fam, every time. That rat bastard, siding with the enemy. Virtua will get absolutely destroyed here. I think Virtua would get destroyed here even if she had the CE and the command code. But we might try it just for the fun of it. What now? What about Buster Art Buster? I kind of want to do Buster Quick Art actually, because then I get the heal and that might actually help. Because we're having a heck of a time right now. Chat, for the first time since they actually launched the game, Smash Ultimate, I can now play it with a goddamn GameCube controller. It took me that long to get that all set up. I always had to play it with the stupid, like, Wii motes put in the thing to be like a controller, right? And it was terrible. So that's nice, because I was never able to adjust and like get used to it. And I tell you, how you interface with a game like Armored Core or whatever, right? Like how you interface with the game can really affect how good you are at it. So I don't even know how is Smash Ultimate's on netcode. I've not really looked into it. I assume it's not rollback or any of that, so it's probably not that great. Poor. I remember I played Kairos some. We played a bit when it came out, and it wasn't too bad off my memory. I do remember there were times where it absolutely, you know, wasn't what one would hope for. But I remember I was really struggling with just the controller in the first place, so I wouldn't have known too much, right? Like if I felt like some latency, I don't think I would have even known because I was kind of struggling to get used to things. I guess I do invulnerability. Hold on. So in a dream world, and I know this is what Beastly would do when you were fighting things like the Demon Pillar and Salem. You would do the guts now and just get the value out of the guts, and then let it go for the other hits. Then do invulnerability, because then you might be able to cast it again. But I don't think we do that here. We do get the attack down though. I think I just invulnerability and then we. Just NP here. Man, we are getting absolutely wrecked here. Oh crap, we don't have the burn. Well, please don't guard it. Save third skill, yeah, that makes sense. Fuck! Magic Resist, you are the worst mechanic in this game. I really dislike Magic Resist too because it's like, it's low enough that overall debuffs are reliable, but it's just high enough to screw you over sometimes, right? Like, I think Goddess Essence is less frustrating to deal with because if you fight a boss that has Goddess Essence, you presume that debuffs aren't going to work very often, so you don't rely on them. You know that's like a part of the fight at that point. But when it's Magic Resist, it's just super RNG nonsense. Okay, we really need to not have Guts go off this turn. Like, it's really important that the damage cut and the attack down bail us out here. Well, I'm gonna desperately try to get Burn again. This is actually above average though, this performance. When if you don't use the event CE and everything, I've seen it, this is definitely an above average performance. She didn't crit with any of that. And that could have gotten us our NP if we'd gotten an art crit, which means another attack down. That is so unfortunate. There is no world where this is the best performance that Taiga can get. Taiga. Yeah, no, it's not the best performance for Taiga either, because Taiga could be like triple buster critting, but this is not the best performance you could get out of Fujino, excuse me. Where do my loyalties lie here? Rooting for the wrong servant, apparently. Let's... Shit. We'll do that. There's a slight chance. If only I had art crit and had NP'd here, I actually think I could live. Because I could have done the heals, and I could have also done another attack down, and I think that might have been enough. The attack down with damage cut a lot of times can result in you, Yep, oh, absolutely. That crit might have still gotten us, but I think if we had that, because that attack down, oh man. We could have even gotten it, like, and applied it twice, right? Okay, let's see. We're definitely dead, so it's just about damage here. Well, she made it over halfway, and I think she could get farther than that, and without the event CE, that's pretty good. Alright, let's use Hot Wheels. And then we might do Virtua for the lulz, and then we should probably actually win. Unless Otto really wants to show up Anastasia, but this is kind of a rough stage for that. Yeah, Taiga could use a buff. She is a solid 3-star, but she compares poorly to her competition. And, she doesn't need to be meta, it's fine, right? Not every 3-star is going to be the best. But it'd be nice if she was a little bit stronger, I would say. Yeah, I know Arjuna. Relax. Because that's how you get people to relax. Okay. This is where Arjuna should just do the rage emote. I actually might go Anniversary Blonde. Yeah, let's go Anniversary Blonde. So we'd probably be better off Arjuna with the NP up on Buster. That's really good on Hot Wheels instead of the, because like especially the lower crit up one. But we'll go with this for now. But that's really good because then you can do the NP up, apply defense down, then NP, and then you like supercharge your NP. Yeah, Sitting Master would be good here. And when you come to like raw value tests like this, Sitting Master is normally in the higher half of it. The only bad thing is honestly just the magic resist making it fail. What on earth is our... Forgot to look, what did we... Okay, so we're doing the CE, but not the command code. What we probably should have done is actually the command code and not the CE. That's probably what we should have done. because it actually helps more. And I think we've already done it this way. I'm telling you, if you just do the CE and no command code and you don't have anti-Bs, most units just get crushed here, like absolutely crushed. Yeah, outside of foreigners and event servants, I'm not sure if anyone could do this in this scenario other than Enkidu. But, well, some can with like miracle RNG, like absolute miracle RNG, but what's really scary about Enkidu though, he's really ahead of the pack, and he was only level 90. Like imagine if he was 120 or something crazy. The command code that makes this way easier is the anti-beast one, and you put it on literally any card. You put it on like their least used card, and it breaks the gimmick for some reason. Even if you don't click the command code. Yeah, we'll try that too, Zaw. That sounds like a fun one actually. Okay, what do I do here? It's actually okay. I think I might NP and do quick. This kind of sucks. Hold on, we gotta really think about this. There's no way this NP is going to be the big one. But I've got those crits. This really sucks, actually, the way this worked out, because I couldn't ramp up my skill. Yeah, Protoku can solo this. Anybody with anti-beast as a skill can solo this really easily, because they get, like, full damage. The story support Protoku can solo this. I could just go for the buster damage without the crit stuff. If I did Atlas, that would definitely be the way to go. But if without Atlas, I can only use the skills once, be it now or later. So I might as well just wait until later. But I might just do a buster chain anyway, even if I'm not doing this quick stuff, and just do the quick stuff next turn. Can I live that long? Yep, okay, I think I buster, vanilla buster here, and then I do my third skill next turn, and then I do art quick. And then with the battery, we try to just NP right away. The story support Ku does have the event CE, but it's not limit broken. Also, he doesn't have foe items, and the CE has no stats on it. So a level 70 Ku will actually outperform him. Which is kind of funny. But yeah, if you have like a level 70 Protoku, even if he doesn't have a limit broken event CE, he'll still do better. Because even though the story support one's level 90, you get more out of having CE stats and foe stats and all that kind of stuff. Atlas might be better and try to use the skills twice. There's a lot of different ways to play this. That's something I like about Hot Wheels, though. Depending on circumstances, it actually changes what's the right thing to do. Especially when there's brake bars involved, it can really mix up what you're looking for. I think we should have had a gut CE, though. When you do straight value tests like this for Hot Wheels, I found almost always Guts is better. Because he actually has some diminishing returns with starting NP, I found, where, like, sometimes getting your NP on that first turn is kind of bad, and you kind of need time to wait anyway. Like, he's fine with starting in peak, he's pretty flexible like that, but I think peak performance here, we're gonna want Guts. Okay. I guess I cast Guts now, just because there's really no telling what's gonna happen here. But yeah, we should do him again. Arjuna, if we could give him a Gut CE, give him anti-beast on like a quick card or whatever, it doesn't really matter what it's on. And then give him the Da Vinci NP up one on a Buster card. Okay, please crit. Yeah, those things will increase his performance here quite a lot. Okay, good, we got that. That crit spread was kind of scuffed, even though we had a lot of stars. That was kind of dumb, but we got the crits anyway. That's an insane amount of damage, though, considering how like little damage most units are doing here. So solid performance, but he can do better. Like we can go deeper. He might be one of the servants though that can beat this if he's got the event CE and the command code. Then he can probably do it. Even he though I think would be pushing it a little bit. Like this stage is pretty bonkers. Alright, Zal wanted some Canis action in here. I think she'll be pretty respectable. I think she's going to keep up with some of these big dogs that we're seeing. But we're seeing some of the real champs, you know, not make it. And most of these are actually more favored than Enkidu was. That's what's crazy, is a lot of these units that we're using are more, like, and I don't mean favored as in, like, their toolkits. I mean, like, we're giving them a larger advantage, right? Like, the anti-beast command code is a bigger damage boost than the event CE, and that's all that Enkidu used. So it kind of shows how broken Enkidu is in this fight. Yeah, we should try Kama, because Kama is one of the better straight value units out there. We need a proper one, though, if we're going to do that. Alright, definitely Atlas, I think. I find Atlas is normally the right Mystic Code for Canis these days, especially since she got her second skill buff. Dude, Azura's Wrath, that was a game, or more like an interactive movie, but that was an experience. When to use our second skill? Might actually use it next turn, depending on what happens here. Oh yeah, that's right. You had to get the like true ending. There was like DLC. That was such a mess, dude. What a shame too, because it was a pretty interesting game otherwise. Is it not on PC? I feel like there's just so many games like that. If you put them on Steam and people see them, a lot of people will buy them. It's free money, man. All right, let's do our second skill. I think this could be good. I wish that we had like literally any other NP gain available to us right now. Fuck. That's lame. That's so lame. Why are you like this game? Ugh. I played myself. Well, we are gonna do this, and hopefully we have enough stars the next turn. You're just not gonna crit with any of that! Okay, thanks Canis, really helped. 0 damage. Wow. Okay, we do this number now. Dude, I wish we had crit there because we would have done more damage and we'd have more stars. And a few more stars here would be really nice. It'd be it's so tempting to do that art card, but we'll take the 80% buster. I'm glad Ninja Gaiden finally came to PC. Sadly, it wasn't Ninja Gaiden Black, but I am really glad I can just boot those games up and play them, man. I'm so happy about that. I don't think I've ever had a game that's like, how do I put this? When I want to just sit down and just, like, if I've had a bad time or something and I want some video game, I just play Ninja Gaiden Black, man. That's like, it's such a good game to just have some good gameplay mechanics. I really like that game, like a mechanical standpoint. It's very satisfying to just play the combat system in that game. It's definitely my go-to game for that kind of thing. Okay. Wasted Guts, yep. I think I have to invulnerability now. I think we're like really screwed right now. We're gonna overcharge so hard if I do Art Quick, but I want stars. I could do Buster Quick and potentially get my NP. That's really risky at that point. We do this anyway. If we're talking about difficulty in Ninja Gaiden Black, I think it's totally fine to start on hard mode. It's actually my preferred difficulty to go into it. I would say it's hard. Obviously, it's really hard on hard mode, but it's fine. Well, I don't have her first skill, but I think we bust her anyway. A lot has gone wrong here. This has not been the ideal run. It hasn't been terrible. It could have been worse, but this is not peak value. Still a solid value, though. She's getting over halfway. Yep, Ninja Gaiden 3 killed Ninja Gaiden. Like, absolutely. But I'm hoping it's gonna come back. Dude, oh my god. Video game donkey, right? Absolute legend, but he made a video recently about just like, you know, reviewers just reference other things all the time and all that, like as a joke. But through watching that, I was reminded of how stupid people were with like, Neo and Genshin Impact, right? So this was such a thing, and he referenced this in his video, but when Neo came out, everyone said that Neo was like copying and being influenced by Dark Souls. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, Neo is being influenced by Ninja Gaiden, which came out, which they made it, right? Team Ninja made Ninja Gaiden. And, you know, that came out way before Dark Souls, right? And there's a lot of games like Dark Souls that came out before. Now, obviously, Dark Souls popularized a lot of those things, obviously, but they existed before it, right? And again, Neo was made by Team Ninja. All this, like, iframe dodging, you know, third-person action, you know, fighting big bad boss stuff. That's all, like, Neo is very similar to Ninja Gaiden, and it really is. It's Ninja Gaiden with, like, RPG elements added to it, right? Now, it is influenced a bit by Dark Souls when it comes to, like, the death system and stuff, but that's pretty mild, right? It's most of it is really, you know, pretty typical Team Ninja stuff, and it's just so ridiculous that so many reviewers said that. I'm like, what do you even, it's the same thing with Genshin Impact, everyone calling it Breath of the Wild. Like, yep, there's never been any open world games before that have ever had, you know, gliding and climbing. It's never happened before, you know, and then cue like a million video games that did that. You know, Breath of the Wild was inspired by those games. And then Breath of the Wild, you know, popularized them again, and then some people kind of just ran with it again from that. But it is so disingenuous to like credit Nintendo for making those systems. They didn't, right? And there's not, everyone gets mad. I remember so many people got mad at Genshin Impact being like a Breath of the Wild copycat when it really isn't. And if you're going to get mad at that, then you have to get mad at Nintendo for copying all these other games in the past as well. Like, what is wrong with people, right? It's like they forget about, you know, they do like no research on these topics, and then they act like it's like it's new that video games are derivative, right? It's not really even possible to make an original game these days anyway. Now, they can be more original than they are. There's a lot of like styles of games and a lot of gimmicks and different like approaches to video games that you don't see in modern video games anymore, but there's like a lot of genres and styles and stuff that you used to see a lot like in older video games. And a lot of those things just don't really get made anymore. Be it because they're not popular anymore, or people don't like taking risks, or whatever it is. But even if you did that kind of stuff, it's still technically not original, because, I mean, there's not much that hasn't been tried unless new technology gets created, right? So when people get like all uppity about one game being similar to another, I remember it goes all the way back to Doom and Wolfenstein 3D, right? People, when other shooter games were created, you know, they were, oh, it's just a Doom clone, right? And then here we are with a million shooters later, right? Just this genre, for God's sakes, like, relax. Okay, well, she got well over halfway. It's pretty good performance, and she could have gotten, can you crit, please? Okay, at least we got 2 in there, but okay, that's pretty good performance. That's pretty solid. Yeah, I remember that whole period of X's, the Dark Souls of Y, I remember that. Dude, the Mario movie cast really, so I was looking, not too long ago, I was looking into the drama, because there were so many different dramas surrounding Metal Gear Solid 5, but a big one, and because it goes back a while, the creator of Metal Gear Solid 5, for some reason, had just never liked the English voice actor for Snake, and he had tried to get rid of him many times, and I have no idea why, and the voice actor doesn't even know why. And I think a lot of it is because like he wasn't a big name. He was kind of just a random person, but he had a good voice and it was you know, he really fit the role. But like he had always wanted to like hire a bigger name for like the status. That's for some, this is like a thing in video game, like Japanese video game development, and a lot of it just Japan. They really value like the status of hiring like an A-list celebrity to do voice acting or whatever, right? Just because it's like, oh, we made it, guys. But it has nothing to do with artistic integrity or what actually fits the role or any of that stuff. And that's a real thing in Japan. And so that was a thing for Metal Gear Solid 5 where they fired the guy that did Snake up to that point. And I don't remember who they hired, but they hired some fairly big celebrity to do the voice who is not even that great at voice acting, no offense to him. You know, and it was just for like the status thing, right? And when I look at the Mario movie cast, that's all I see, is they're just hiring people because they're famous, and it's like, that's just such a Japan thing when it comes to these kind of projects. The 24 guy, right? Oh, that's right, yeah. Yeah, 24 is Omega popular in Japan. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's such a thing where, and yeah, I really do think, I know I don't have a lot to go on, I'm just guessing, but I really do think that's what's going on with the Mario movies. They're just hiring people for status and whatnot, which is not a good sign, to be honest. Now, some of those people are talented individuals and you hope they do the best, but yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly think Jack Black is probably the most logical one there, right? Like, he's probably gonna, him and like, was it Keegan Michael Key? They probably have the best chance of turning out something good there, I would say. Okay, so we want to do Hot Wheels again. We want to do Vertra. Let me see. I don't know if that guy that, hold on, let's do Hot Wheels so I don't have to go through the cutscene again. But I don't know if that guy that sent me a Vertra invite actually got the invite through because of, like, I might have too many people. My invite thing was probably already full. Oh wait, okay, because of that, I should clear it now. That way when I do the Arjuna thing, it'll update. I have no idea. I know Charlie Day was in like, what was it? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I have no idea if that guy has experience with voice acting or not. If he does, then, you know, that's good. Okay, no, we might have some slots here for stuff. Is that the Vertra? Probably. NP2, 10, 10, 10. CE, so CE, no command code. I would prefer command code, no CE, but we can do it this way. This way's harder, right? This way's harder. If you beat it without the command code, it's actually more impressive. So Vertra is so lucky. She's so lucky. Her CE is like actually really good with her, right? So there's no problem. You get to just be like Vertra with Vertra CE, slap that on your support list or in a team, and it's like it's all good, right? She gets to be fancy like that. That basically happens for no one, right? Like I think like maybe you kind of with her CE, but almost nobody gets to be meta with their own CE, and a lot of times major characters don't even get good CEs that you would use in the first place, right? So basically it has to be a meta CE, which there's not that many of those, and then it has to be good on their own unit. Yeah, Martha can be pretty good with aerial drive. That one works out okay. But there's a lot of other options. There's a lot of other options, right? You might use Golden Sumo and things like that, so it's not an easy pick. That's true for Vertra as well, but I'd say it's more so for Martha. But yeah, Vertra is so lucky like that. And then coups are all terrible. Every coup CE is trash. What sucks is the coup fishing CE, if it was attack stat, it would not be meta, but it would be occasionally good if you didn't need starting in B. But because it's health stat, it's completely pointless. Like those kind of stats on offensive unit, it's so bad. Like the effects are nice, but you're so offset by not having attack stat. So you're just so much better off with like anything else that has attack stat. Yeah, there are a few other good combos that are from the Gacha, but they're not free B event ones too. There are definitely a few out there like that. So Billy's gonna get an animation update, guys, right? In Saber Wars 3, and he's gonna get a buff, and then they're gonna add one of the event CEs for Saber Wars is gonna be Billy, right? And it's gonna be good for him, right? It's gonna be like it's gonna give him like Star Absorb and starting NP and like Quick Up, right? Totally gonna happen. It'll give him, oh, can you imagine if it gave him Quick Star Absorb from the CE? Like not just general Star Absorb, but specifically Quick Star Absorb? Like, that'd be great, but yeah, that's not happening. Do I do Art Buster quick? I might even do my third skill. That's so greedy. But if I got my NP there, if I did Art Buster quick, oh, just give me that 50% crit game. Let's go. This is super greedy though because it only gives me one of the crit buff, so it's not like that good for the NP turn, but I'm kind of trying to get 2 NP turns here. Crap. Well, I'll be able to NP with my first skill. The bad thing about this is I'm not NPing at low health. So, honestly, with the way I'm playing this, I think I should have done Atlas instead of Anniversary Blonde. But we'll see what happens. This music does not fit Hot Wheels at all. We gotta get something at least generically more action-y here. Let's see. Oh, I got it. Name pun here. There we go. Alright. Give me a good crit spread game. Well, it's something. Come on, 70%, 70%. We're favored. Yes, there we go. I just like to point out that Hot Wheels is kind of the best, and I regret so much that when I rolled for Asclepius, I did not get him. Like, I would totally be down for having a level 100 Hot Wheels on my account. That is a pretty good costume, and that would be cool on Billy, but I'm happy with just Billy's stages as they are, so I'm not even complaining, but more options would be good. If I had known that like Lost Belt 5 wasn't gonna, you know, like you had 5-1 and 5-2 and everything, and I had all that time before 5-2, I would have rolled for Hot Wheels more. I regret not having him, and now I'm so behind the curve, it's like kind of too late, but at least I got a lot of friends that have him, because he is awesome. So many options here. Yeah, we should have done Atlas. Yeah, I was saving for Lost Belt 6, and 5 and 6. Because I thought 5 and 6 were going to be like back-to-back, like every other Lost Belt, but then they were like 5-1, and then 5-2 was the one I actually cared about, and then they were like 5.5, and then nothing, and then 6, right? So I had so much time where I could have just gotten Hot Wheels. But yeah, thankfully, like, it would be much worse if I didn't know so many, like, because it's so easy for me to get in contact with Eri or I Love Arjuna, that if I want to make a video or I want to just do anything, it's super easy for me to use them. And theirs are super upgraded. They know how to, you know, they got command codes, they got all this stuff. So, like, I've got easy access to Hot Wheels, thankfully. But there's a lot of other characters that's not the case, right? Where no one that I know and, like, I know well, no one's got them, right? Like, no one that I can get a hold of easily has got them, and so I don't have easy access to them, but thankfully that didn't happen with Hot Wheels. But if that had happened with Hot Wheels, I'd have been pissed. Well, such a shame here that I didn't do Atlas, because I'm missing out on my skills. I have Beowulf now, though, and he's level 90, and I'm very happy with that. Waiting for that animation update, because as much as I like Hot Wheels, I'm like equally like Beowulf, honestly. Hot Wheels just has more screen time, which is nice. But yeah, I'm really waiting for that Beowulf animation update. At some point, I really want to get Beowulf to 100. Really, the only reason it's not happening is just because the 120 thing is just putting me in such like grail debt that it's kind of tough. And he's, you know, he's really good at 90, so it doesn't feel bad having him at 90, but I would love to have him at 100. Hell, I'd like to 2K foam and all that nonsense too. Okay, well, Hot Wheels, even though we didn't bring the right setup, still did way above average here. Like, we're really seeing a good performance, so definitely showing what it's made of. Definitely can win with the Event CE and the command code. Yeah, that was very good, very good. Do you think Lost Belt 7 will be the last Lost Belt? Maybe the last Lost Belt, but not the last story for 2.0. They're totally gonna do a Solomon thing, right? Like, there's not like maybe that specifically, but yeah, there will be something else, I suspect. And we know there's gonna be a 3.0, but that obviously won't be Lost Belts. That'll be some other shenanigans. All right, well, Vertra is gonna do way worse than everyone else we've seen. However, a big part of that is because most of what we've been using here are actually super big boys, right? We're using some muscly stuff here, and Vertra's AoE for crying out loud, so she's not going to do nearly as well. But if you compared her to like every other unit that exists, not just the top end, I think she would do okay. I don't think she'd necessarily be in the top 50%, but I don't think she'd be like super low. Did I add the guy? I think I added him. Huh. The person with Virtua, you might need to just relog. That might be why I'm not getting you. Okay, there's Kama. Not quite as upgraded as the other stuff we've seen, but she'd still do well, I'm sure. Huh, yeah, we're not getting Virtua at all. He's in the Lancer slot? Oh, right. That would be the reasonable thing. There we go. I'm actually surprised we got them. They hadn't logged in for 34 minutes. So she is an event servant, so that's a pretty big help here. It's extra 30% kick in the pants there, so gives her an edge on everyone else we've used. Okay, so she has the event CE, but not the... Okay, actually that kind of makes up for it. The event CE without the command code is actually weaker than just the command code, so she's actually disadvantaged because of that, and that's kind of evened out by the 30%, I would say. It's close to, I would hope. Alright, not a great opening hand, but at least it's some form of starting NP. We really do need to beat this though, stop fucking around. It's fun to fuck around though, it really is. But I want to beat it so we get the actual craft essence and then do the challenge quest with Proto Q and see how much worse he does compared to regular Q. Sag. Guess I just do Buster quick and I waste the heal, which is unfortunate, but... Okay, no faith in Proto Coup. I know this game pretty well, and I've used Coup in Proto Coup a lot, and I think you'll see, like, he'll perform kind of around on a good run, kind of what we saw out of Masashi and Okita, I think. Yeah, Virtue's pretty cool. I was surprised that I actually liked her. She was first introduced as a kind of like, eh, but she ended up being a pretty cool character. Okay, I think we fire... No, we don't use our second skill. Even though it does have anti-divinity, I think we want to save the battery. Okay, good crit spread. Can't complain. I wish we had a stage that was kind of in this tier of difficulty, but for AoE. That'd be kind of nice to test everyone else. Oh no, skill seal. I forgot about that on Vertra. It's so bad for soloing. You just get absolutely bodied so quickly because of it. Well, shit, we actually looped. Crap. That means we should have just done a second skill. I wonder if I just cast it now. I mean, this time we probably won't loop. The thing is, if you wait this long, you're wasting a lot of damage by not casting it. $24K, kind of rough, but AoE. Damn, we're so close to living right there. I don't think Atlas is right for her because I don't think she's gonna go around the wheel. Well, she will with the first skill, but only the first skill, and we won't live long enough to reapply it much. So on a good run though, she could have had Guts go off this turn and then done the shield next turn, and that would have been a lot better. But I'm thinking default might be better for her. The command code on Herc? I wonder. That's actually a good idea, Beastly. Because then you just do Bond CE. I'm actually really curious about that. Your Herc is really big, isn't he? Yeah, let's try that. I'm super curious how that does. Sadly, we are dead here. Well, for her not using the command code, although she does have the event bonus, so it's about the same. For being AoE though, that's pretty good. Definitely behind everyone else, but almost halfway. That's pretty good. I think if you did a lot of AoE units here, I think a lot of them would suck, so not too bad. Yeah, let's do Herc. I like that idea. I'm super curious how he does. Oh, he's already up? Okay. There he is. I feel like there are better command codes than this. Like, surely we can give him better command codes than this, especially the sheep one. I feel like that's not what we want here. Hold on, give me 1 second, chat. I'm gonna get water and run to the restroom real quick and see if we can get some beefier command codes there. Not that I blame anyone for wanting to avoid the command code UI. All right. We're back in business. I did indeed get a hot dog bun. Guess Atlas. Kind of funny that Herc went from Atlas only occasionally being good for him to it almost always being good for him since they got his third skill buff. Chat. So, Paimon Royale is a good example of this. There are times where, and I swear you twisted bastards do this on purpose, right? There's times where, like, how do I put this? You all say things like, oh yeah, he's gonna add Paimon Royale, or just act in a way like acting like you think there's a chance when you know there's not, and you're like memeing, right? But then it makes noobs, like new people to the channel that are out of the loop, right? They get fooled by this, right? And this happens with all kinds of things, like with, you know, a lot of nonsense Cairo comes up with, you know, him playing the victim. Some people buy it, right? Shenanigans, chat. Absolute shenanigans. It's never happening, though. It's never happening. Well, maybe in 30 years. So we said in like 30 years, if I'm still streaming, we'll do it then. Okay. Oh no, the stage crashed. How did that happen? Well, I didn't say I would, Fishy, but we'll see. If the opportunity arises where I feel like something would work, right, and we could have a moment, then maybe we do it that way. I would never live it down, though. If I lost and I added Paimon Royale, oh my god. Dark days right there, dark days. There we go, anti-divinity, that's the good stuff right there. So Gambler, I do normally buy the same brand of hot dog buns, but I actually don't know what brand it is because I kind of just recognize the packaging and I don't bother to read it. So I have absolutely no idea what it is. I'll have to check one of these days. That's true for a lot of stuff though, I feel. Imagine reading, fucking cringe, bro. Some Reddit energy right there. Do I third skill now? Do you prioritize the survivability angle over the Buster Up? Because the thing is, I want to cast Evade as soon as possible so it comes back as soon as possible, but then that delays getting the Buster Up. I think I just cast it next turn and I cast the Evade next turn. I don't know, that's hard to math out, like what's the best play for him these days. Okay. Yeah, it is gonna go for the big damage, but I don't think you want to completely screw over your cooldowns. I think I'm gonna do it like this and see what happens. Okay, this one does the most damage even though it doesn't have a crit chance, so we do it like that. Man, this boss lowers your damage so much. That's crazy. That is lucky. That is really lucky. 80%, and it's on the one that has the bonus divinity damage on it. Come on, don't Hans me. Don't give me that kind of luck and then just you won't get away from me. Guarded the defense down, that sucks, because that would have been another way to get more damage here. Yes! That's such a shame that we didn't land that defense down, because not only would that crit have been a lot bigger, but then all of our other turns would have been bigger, and we need that long-term value here. I can see the logic, though, of letting your health bar die right away, because I could be having Buster up this whole time. However, it would take turns away for, I think, how long we would live at the end, so... Okay. I could do Atlas right now and get our attack up, but I think it's better to get the evade back the normal way, then do Atlas. Now, that might not let me cast it again, which means it's pointless, but I'm gonna try. I want to put the 40% crit behind the anti-divinity because I think it's worth going for the luck here. Yep. That paid there. Let's do this again. If I can get one crit here, I'll be happy. $21K. Okay, we got that sweet Buster up. Now, what we could do is do... Man, this is tricky. If I had done Anniversary Blunt earlier, I could do the Guts thing now and then get 2 more Buster ups. Or if I wait, I'm only going to get 1 more Buster up. That's probably a mistake. A little late now, though. Kind of have to go with it. I think I need to then try to save that gut, so we do invulnerability. I guess like that. Man, it's such a shame that Herc doesn't keep up with the current content. This is ridiculous, by the way, because I mean, some of the units we used like had more stat stuff in their favor, right? And we're not even dead yet. I think Atlas is not going to pan out the way that I want it to, though. If the way I'm playing, I actually probably should have done Anniversary Blonde. Yeah, and the big issue with the way I'm playing it this way is I'm not getting as many bus drops as I could. I could have rushed the third skill and just kept the bus drops going. We'll see, though. If it allows me to loop one of my other skills an extra time, then it's probably worth, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. It's gonna be close. I think I'll get the evade again. Yeah, Herc's pretty good, because I mean we've been using like what 109 Canis and you know 100 Hot Wheels and all these other things, right? And yeah, so far the only thing keeping up with Enkidu right now is Hercules. Who would have thought? He might win. It's gonna be close. What are we doing right now? We should be doing this. Excuse me. If my music would like to load, that would be great. Hello? Everything's loading except the thing that I want to load. Well. There we go. I don't know why that would not load. I think we're going to win. Dude, that's crazy. I mean, I don't have to, like, so many things have lost here, right? That are, like, super upgraded. That is crazy. Oh, fuck, we're gonna lose by one turn. We're gonna lose by one turn because of this. That means we got nothing out of Atlas. We actually still hit her. She only has 2 hit, but I'm gonna be over 1 turn off. So that means I should have brought Anniversary Blonde the way I played, because we did not benefit from the cooldown reduction. It's either that or we should have used the third skill and like recast it as soon as possible and stuff. So this is absolutely beatable by Hercules. I just need to figure out the right order of things. Theoretically, we might win here if we got like some crazy bullshit crit, but I think we're gonna be just shy because of the evade. Yeah, we'll do it again. If we crit, we actually might still win. Fuck. Yeah, I think we might have been close. I think we would have won if we had crit there. And yeah, we were 1 turn on our evade. Okay, let's try that again. So I'm trying to think which way I want to play it. You either play it as I just did and you bring Anniversary Blonde, or you go Atlas and you use the third skill like more liberally. It's just really tricky. Using his evade is a lot more complicated now. Like, you don't want to waste the value out of it, but then it slows down your buster ups. So it's kind of awkward. Well, let's see how much damage we do if we go maximum buster up. We just completely focus on getting the buster ups. Or, you know, we could just never get Beastly again. Chat, is it bad that I kind of want to make a video of this? It's really hard to find good Herc content, and like no one realizes how busted this stage is, right? Everyone focuses on the challenge quest and whatnot, but like this stage really is wild for soloing if you don't do the CC and the CE. If you do both, then it's not too bad, but there we go. I don't know why this friends system has to be so shitty. All right, let's try Anniversary Blonde. I mean Atlas, and then just focus on getting the third skill up again. So do you just not use the evade until the end? I mean, that would feel so bad because then it makes Atlas so much worse. But it does make you do a hell of a lot more damage. I almost want to Art Chain. Just because you're never going to have another chance to get a lot of NP at once. Let's do it. Yeah, defense down's really big here. I'm gonna try casting this now. Trying to really get ahead of the curve on this. Okay, I'm hoping we get our NP right here. I can't remember if he's got Kim Lan or the Da Vinci one. He had the Da Vinci one, feels good. Okay, no evade. We're out of our minds. Guess we do it like that. It's always Herc time. Herc o'clock. Can you imagine Herc at 120 with his passive skills and everything? Like, that's so nutty. See, the problem is we still don't have Buster up right now. Maybe I shouldn't have casted that one turn in advance. I just want the cooldown to sync up well. Okay, there that is. Let's do it in the middle, that way. Like 40% chance I think is enough to try to get. Technically, you should do it if it's 50% or more, but Damn, we failed a 40% crit and a 60%. That's pretty crappy. I think you've got to work in the evade at some point, even just for the crit up. I think it's worth. Do I let it come back and then cast Atlas, or do I cast Atlas now? I think we cast it now? It's really weird, but I think that's right. Yeah, I would love a really well animated Hercules versus Beowulf fight that did not have plot armor, right? Like what the plot needs a lot of times dictates what happens, is bullcrap. But not only are they both, like, you know, got so many interesting things going for them, but Beowulf does have many different NPs who has a better chance against God Hand, but Herc ain't no bitch. So, like, that would be really cool. Alright, give me those Buster ups, game. Okay. Gotta pay attention to when I run out of guts here. It's very important. It's the 50. Okay, so we invulnerability and then we evade. I don't think this way's better. You live so much less this way. I think the other way's better, and probably with Anniversary Blonde, which is kind of weird. Normally Anniversary Blonde these days has not been better for her, but I think it's better. Hard to say though, there's a lot of different ways to play this, which is really weird for Herc, because normally it's pretty straightforward, but there's quite a few routes here. Because you could do it the way I'm doing it right now, but still have worked in the evade more. Like, I didn't have to do it like the exact way that I did. I don't really like it this way though, because like you get a lot less of the crit up. I don't know, it's not over yet, we'll see. I kind of think, I almost want to not NP and then try to take her from low to death so she never evades. But you want the defense down. That's a hard call. Because if you can skip like that damage threshold, that's really good. Yeah, I think you're right, Beasley. What I'm going to probably do is off stream, I'll probably do this stage quite a bit and try to figure out what is the best route, because that kind of stuff makes a much better video. Because if you can find something that gives you a one-turn like value shift, that's a pretty big deal here. Because you can see it's like it's right on the edge. So let's see if we win here or not. I'll zeet the app if we win. Like, I feel like this one and the other one, this is almost the exact same performance because she didn't cast the evade. Where if she had, I think we would have been in the same boat as before. Now, we have double buster up, attack up, and defense down, so I'm pretty sure this is going to kill. Like, we have a lot of damage up here, and our extra attack ought to murder. Definitely if we crit. Of course not. We're going to be just shy again. Why do we keep failing so many crits? That's so bullshit. That is so bullshit. Because we failed that 60% crit earlier and the 40% crit earlier, then that 60% crit. Like, we got some crits, but like, I think overall we missed more crits that were likely than not. So something else worth doing is twinking the command codes to try to find the absolute best value on command codes. I'm not sure. I think it might actually be double star bomb. I think it's either double Star Bomb and then the anti-divinity one, or it's the anti-servant one. Like, we want reliability. So I'm thinking it's either like Enkidu Gilgamesh one and then the Star Bomb, or it's double Star Bomb and the anti-divinity one. I'm kind of leaning towards Gilgamesh though, because it just adds up. There's so many turns, there's just so many times you just hit her in the face. That extra 20% damage by the end, I think could definitely make up 13k. I mean, we just lost by 13k, right? And I think doing 20% more damage with one card every turn might end up being 13k. However, the other option is double Star Bomb, because making a chunk of more stars every turn and over that many turns is going to be a few more crits. Like, it's just absolutely going to be. I'm trying to think. Let me look at command codes here. I wonder if there's another. I wonder if you just forsake critting and you excuse me, if you just try to do 3 command codes that all do damage up. Okay, well, this account would actually be shit for what I just said, because I don't have all the command codes on this account. Because there's anti-divinity, there's anti-servant, there's anti-male, but Tyga's not male, so you can't get that. There's anti-saber, but this is not saber. There's anti-lawful. I don't think she's lawful. There's another anti-divine, the 15%. Maybe. Let me look something up here. Because if she's lawful, which I don't think she is, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but if she happens to be, there's the, yeah, she's chaotic neutral, that's what I kind of figured. But there is a 20% damage to lawful one. Actually, I think it's lawful good, specifically. So, 4 stars, which absolutely result in crits. versus just another 15% damage. I think to stars, I think 20% damage is right where it starts to be worth it. Especially because the other star bomb is 3 stars instead of 4 stars. So let's try it that way. I really don't know what to do though with Mystic Codes and gameplay style here. This is really hard to figure out. And what can get really complicated in situations like this is there's small things you can change, like command codes and everything, and so you want to see the difference that makes. But at the same time, you're like, oh, well, what if for example, if I do exactly what I just did, changing to the Gilgamesh command code might be enough. But at the same time, you kind of want to try a different Mystic Code, right? But if you change too many things all at once, then you don't actually see like the value shift. But I do think the way we played it the first time with Anniversary Blonde could potentially be really, really good here. Let's try Atlas one more time, though. I might play like a middle ground in how I played it. Like the first and second time. Oh, is she demonic? Yeah, isn't the anti-demonic one 20%? Because then you could do 20-20-20, and that is pretty big. Yeah, that might be. That's close. Yeah, this will probably be a video. It's rare that you get to find something that really makes you have to min-max Herc. And I've been wanting to make a Herc video since he got his buff. I wish it was more thematically interesting, and unfortunately this fight, when most people see it, they just think it's a generic, 700k fight. Like, who cares about that? But it's so much harder than that. If you're not doing the, whole anti-beast CE combo thing. Well, we're not going to be even remotely close to getting our NP. I'm trying to think if I even cast my third skill right here. I think I do. I think you cast everything right here. Do some math here. 5 turns. Yeah, I think it's okay to cast that there. I'm not sure if it's okay to cast Atlas there. That actually might have been a mistake. There's ever a turn not to Buster. It's this one because I don't have Buster up yet. Okay, this is probably the only turn I'm going to do something like this because I have the crit buff and this sets me up. This is my best odds to crit here. I did the Star Bomb and the Quick card. I don't know if that's worth it though. It is resulting in me getting my NP though, so that is good. That was probably worth it. If one of these crits, it's definitely worth it. Oh, she's not a servant here? That sucks. So then anti-demonic then would be the one. That sucks that she's not a servant. Yeah, it says danger, it doesn't say servant. That means we have a dead command code, that's unfortunate. We just got crit. Normally Shadow Servants do have the servant tag still, but this one doesn't, so special nonsense. I think I should have cast my Guts 1 turn later than I did. I think we're gonna miss a lot of value with the way it's set up now. Just swap those first 2 Buster cards around. I think what you, Beastly, if you've got the anti-demonic one, do that. If you do anti-demonic and then 4 Star Bomb. If you don't have anti-demonic, then do double Star Bomb. Because see, I kind of, to make using Atlas when I did worth it, I basically have to do Evade right now, which kind of messes up my Buster thing. What even is the anti-demonic one? I don't even remember. That's not something that comes up very often. Yeah, that actually lines up nice though, that I still have my other guts, so that's at least good. This doesn't feel... Doing it this way doesn't feel right though, we'll see. I mean, I guess us having a literal dead command code is not helping, but 32k though. It's crazy that's an impressive amount of damage, but with the way this fight is, it really is quite a bit. I think we're going to be one turn off our evade again, which I think is going to screw us. Damn, nothing crit there. That wasn't great. And we had crit up as well. That was our last crit up too. I don't know, some of these turns I almost want to mix in the Merlin command code, like not doing a buster chain, because doing your NP when you have a million buster ups is pretty good. That's complicated though. It might be right. I think if you can tell that like it will make that one turn of a difference, where you go from getting your NP in 2 turns to 1 turn, it might be worth doing. Yep, we are going to be 1 turn off our evade. Guess we will YOLO a bit here. Sucks we got so many buster ups and I'm not doing a buster chain. And then she does maximum hit count there, so I don't think I actually needed that art up. Or the art card. I think we've used Rice Man and he got his anti-demonic damage. Like, Taiga is not demonic, but this enemy is not, like, actually Taiga, and I think people are right, and it is demonic. But we'll see. We can test it. Yeah, we are just so close. We can just find a little bit of... Like, every time we've done this, we're 1 turn off. And, hell, some of the times that we were 1 turn off, we actually could have won that turn if we had gotten better luck with crits and stuff, so... I just don't even know what to try because there's like so many routes here. Because not only is there different command codes, but there's different mystic codes and there's different ways to use the mystic codes. So if we do Anniversary Blonde, you want to make sure you don't do the crits until you've got the buster ups from the 3rd skill and the crit up. You want to line that up and then have a attack up, buster up, crit up, and then buster up from the Mystic Code and just have you want absolute min-max on the damage there. Oh yeah, Awawa, that's the one. Okay, for now, let's just do it normal and then see how much of a difference that makes. And then we'll go into, like, potentially changing the Mystic Code around and that kind of stuff. You can just change your color, your name color on JP. You can't do it on NA though. But you can only do it if your name is 4 characters or less. It's pretty limiting. Shame we didn't get someone else's art card to give us the art card bonus. Really adds up. Oh yeah, I guess the extra attack passive, that'd be another thing to help, because you apply the extra attack so many times. No luck with NP gain here. It's definitely good. It's not even about the NP damage, it's about the defense down, I would say. No, the Ishtar command code is unbelievably wrong here. Because even if you crit, it's only 25% damage. And then all the other command codes are 20% damage, and they apply when you crit as well, and then when you don't crit. Like, you would have to crit every single turn for it to be better, which you absolutely will not do. Like, every time you don't crit, like, basically, if you don't crit once, that's 4 turns lost from the other command code, if that makes any sense, right? It's like, you would have to, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, every time you use the Enkidu or the Awawa command code, you know, they're only falling behind a crit by 5%. But if you don't crit one time, you're falling behind by 20%, right? You're never, like, it's not even close. Because, like, the peak difference is not even different. It's 5%, right? Yeah, and you're only going to crit occasionally. Like, even in a team setting, it is almost never right to do a crit one if you've got... The thing is, you don't normally get the pure damage ones, right? They're only applicable on a few cards and so often, right? So a lot of times you fill in the other cards with the crit ones. The only time the crit ones are better is if you are critting every single turn, which is not very common. Oh, is the demonic not working? Let me look here. Yeah, if it's not working, that means the only 20% damage one is the Enkidu one, so then you might as well do double star bomb. Let me do slow-mo here and look. If that's the case, I'll go ahead and reset. We want to make sure we're actually getting value out of command codes here. Yeah, I can't think of what else you would even use at that point if the Gilgamesh one doesn't work, the anti-male one doesn't work, the anti-demonic one doesn't work. You know, pretty much all you've got is the Enkidu one at that point. Yeah, that's in double star bomb Enkidu, I think, for sure. Okay, well, science. Nice slow-mo animations here. I really do wonder how Anniversary Blonde does, though. Yeah, if there is another one that's worth doing, it would be the Chains of Heaven. If that's the other anti-divinity one. And it might be better. 15% every turn might be better than the 3 stars. That's hard to map out, though. I suspect that the Chains of Heaven one is probably better on a peak run where you just get bullshit lucky, but you probably get luckier runs more often with the double star bomb. I really am curious, though, with Anniversary Blonde. I really want to test that and see. Because you could potentially just get a lot of damage. That's a good hand. Let's see if we get lucky next turn. Get our art card and someone else's art card. That's unlikely though, because Leo's deck. And it probably wouldn't be enough. It's probably only worth it if you get an art chain on turn 1. Well, it's close, but I doubt it's enough. The only way I think this would work is if the art card crit, and maybe even the quick card, but if the art card crit, this might work. It'd have been very close. I think it would have just worked. I think it would have just probably would have hit the roundup. Might have been 98 though, you never know. Okay. Still iffy when to cast that. I almost want to cast that gut skill a turn before and then wait to Atlas until after it comes back the first time. That really might be right. You won't get as much damage early on, but that's I'm thinking it's better peak value. Oh man, if we could get this crit while we have the crit up, that'd be really handy. Or we could crit with the other one, because fuck it. And yeah, of course! Don't crit with the one that has a higher chance and the later in the chain, so it does more damage, and also has a command code to do even more damage still. No, crit with the first one. Herc, please. I think we do this, because they both have crit chance, and then they make stars for crit chance next turn. I feel like the only passive worth it on him is the extra attack one. I mean, I guess the starting MP doesn't hurt. Fuck. Yeah, we did get a crit there, though. Getting the extra attack up, though, really will help. If I can just find the slightest value increase, and in between that ought to be what we need to win without needing, like, really good luck. Although luck definitely won't hurt. You're pretty much guaranteed, though, to get some crits when you do double star bomb like this. It's kind of random when they're going to happen, but you're definitely going to get them. Make enough stars. Nice. Yeah, that's like over as many turns as this fight will be, that's going to result in some stars or some crits. Okay, so if I let her kill us here, we get another buster up. I guess that's fine. I kind of think we should have done the art card there because it had a 50% crit chance. That's something to really look out for. When I go to make a video, I'm going to really pay attention to that. If you happen to get like a spike crit, because like the way that the game does like the under the hood star absorb, an art card that has like a bullshit crit chance like that, you should probably take, because we could probably NP right now if I had done that, and that definitely getting it sooner definitely makes up for the loss of BBB. Let's see, what do you do here? I guess you just roll with it. As long as losing a guts is fine as long as you have the third skill up still. Yeah, the starting NP is nice, it's true, because if you do get his art card early, you may well start off with your NP. That is true. And also, not just for this stage, but just in general, it is definitely good in general, because as you say, his Bond CE has no starting NP. So for general gameplay, it's definitely good. Okay, so now we don't want guts to go off, so we do this. Yeah, I don't know about waiting for Atlas until the very end here. I'm not sure. Okay, so now this is tough. What do you prioritize? The stars? I think when you don't have a crit chance, you prioritize making the stars. And then anytime there's even a remotely good crit chance, I mean, I don't know, a lot of turns you're going to use all three no matter what, so it's just on the NP turn you have to make a decision. But I think if you don't have a good crit chance on something, doing the double stars is fine, because the NP makes a chunk of stars too, so you kind of want to make as many stars as possible on that turn. Yeah, that's probably right. Yeah, we make 19. That's pretty good. And then critting on this turn, I think we get the evade. means we have the crit up. Yeah, this is like the most important turn to crit. We have triple buster up, attack up, crit up, and we made the most stars that we could make. Unfortunately, the art card. Okay, so you gotta use the art card if this happens. There's no way you don't. Let me think. I guess you do this. That's pretty awkward though. That really sucks having that much buster up and having it go to waste. So you basically want Taiga to do her 4 hit count at least once. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we got paid. This is pretty interesting. I definitely want this to be a video. Real shame I don't have my first kill right now. That would be incredible. Alright, so not a good crit chance, so we'll do it like this. I think it's definitely correct though to just keep your eye out, because the game basically gives a random star absorb bonus to cards under the hood, and that's why the art card got 100% there. So I think it is worth it, not on the quick card generally, but on the art card I think it is right to just pay attention in case it happens to get that star absorb bonus. Okay, we get another. I think we win here. I think even if she evades, I think she will be low enough that we can kill her. Because we actually might kill her right now. I don't think we'll kill her right now, but we have like, if we like triple crit, we might. But even if she lives and evades, I think we will kill her with the 1 buster and the extra. Okay, I think she's just dead now. Well, she might, we'll see. She might just barely live here. I'm ready to zeet the app. Woohoo! Okay, well, she's definitely dead even if she evades, because the 1 buster would kill her, let alone the extra. And unlike last time, we actually still have a lot of damage here. We have, I think, like, yeah, triple buster up attack up here, so we're way ahead of where we were before. So between this and then Beastly leveling the extra attack, this should work pretty reliably. I definitely think this command code setup is better. I still want to know though if Anniversary Blonde is better. I might do a run or 2 off stream with Anniversary Blonde and see if that's better. But yeah, this will be a video. I wanted a video for buffed Hercules, because the video I have is before his buff. So I gotta say, this is pretty impressive, because with these restrictions, really no one else has done it other than Enkidu. I will say that Enkidu is slightly more restricted than this though, because Herc is using the command code, where Enkidu was just using the Craft Essence, and if you do just the Craft Essence, you actually do less damage than if you have just the command code. But still, no one else is beating it like this, so Herc is still quite good. Also, Herc is not in a niche. Now, Herc doesn't have any niches, but, you know, if Enkidu wasn't in his divine niche, Herc would do better, so. But yeah, that'll get to be a video. That means, though, we have to get our chests somewhere else, which really sucks, because I think if we had beaten this and done the other bonus stages that you can do, actually, no, we're allowed to do them in other orders, so we'll just do the other, ones, and then we'll get our chests, and we'll use Proto-Coup. So, what the hell? I think a bot just hit me. I don't even know why, but a bot has like followed me like 1,000,000 times or something. I don't even, I have like so many follows from like the same name, but the ending is different. There's no way that's like actual viewers. I don't know why a bot would be following though. I'm confused. That was weird. Anyway, let me make sure I bought all of these. We're good. Alright, let's go do these bonus stages, get our CE, and then cry at Proto-Cou's performance. At least Proto-Cou's better at fighting Taiga than Coup is, although Coup does keep up, but Proto-Coup is better. Bots do that in case you have follower mode on. It might get spammed in a few minutes. We might want to put it. The thing is, we could put it in follower only mode and then just make it like a while, right? Where it has to be like a few days. Because yeah, there's a bunch of, I can see so many of these following right now. Maniac, can you turn it on if you know how? Like, just turn it on. Like, you have to be a follower for like a week or something. Yeah, there were maybe even just a few days, right? Because I know we have probably a few legit, you know, new viewers. Because we set it to a week. So if you could change it like 3 days, that'll be fine. Because they'll give up in that amount of time. But yeah, something is fishy here. There's way too many the same things following. So yeah, it's definitely some bot bullshit. Yeah, if we could change it to like 3 days, that should be fine. Okay. Which one is the caster one? I completely forgot. Oh, this is the 5 million HP one. Man, that was really fun actually doing the 5 million damage with Ryder Kentucky. I doubt this account could actually do the 5 million. Let me check. I don't. This account has a lot less OP stuff. The only way I could see it doing it if I summoned someone else's DPS that was like amazing for murdering this. But even then, I think I'd be really pushing it. It's only 1 day or 1 week. Put it on 1 week. Okay, that's fine. That kind of sucks. That's your only options. I do really apologize for anyone that was new here. I know, we got it. Okay, I guess there's a custom way to do it. Okay, yeah, Maniac made it 3 days. Okay, I guess you have to like do some custom nonsense for that. Thank you, Maniac. That should work. Hopefully that allows most of the people in chat to talk if they want to. But yeah, I do apologize. We could probably turn it off like tomorrow though. Generally, that's good enough. Okay, what would be our best DPS on this account? Probably Kentucky, honestly. Even though we don't have Scatty, Kentucky would probably be our best bet for doing the 5 million. If I leveled my Aussie maxed him out, then that potentially. But yeah, I don't see anything on this account that I would foresee doing 5 million. There's a few things you could summon though that might be able to, because I at least have Waver, but we should probably just beat this the normal way. It's not that interesting of a stage anyhow. I wonder if someone could solo it though. I mean, Ku could solo it if you gave him command codes and like the CE for the debuff immunity, because you only have to last like 5 turns or whatever. You know, Proto Ku with luck might be able to do this. What about wait a minute, what about Proto Ku with the debuff resistance command code? Because then you have his magic resist, his first skill, and then the CE. Let's try that. That's kind of fun. That's a different way to do this. Do that, and then Atlas as well, and then we'll give him some command codes. This will probably work. Hopefully this account didn't burn the debuff resistance CE. I think it's a 4-star. Let me look here. I have a bunch of them on my main. I forget to limit break it all the time though, because I kind of forget what its effect is. Okay, no, we got it. I'm pretty sure this is it. I think it's 30% debuff resistance. He could probably do it without command codes, to be honest. Like, but we'll give him some, just like, why not? See you, Red. So Beastly, are you going to be able to play Elden Ring and stream it day 1 and stuff, or like really early on? Because what I really want to do, you know, I don't want to get like spoiled and stuff, but like, you know, as I get, shit, this is gonna be hard. Because I was gonna say, like, after I get so far in the game, I can go back and watch the VODs of you and Cairo and everything. But I just realized it's an open world game, so everyone's gonna do everything in a different order, and it's shit. That sucks. I don't know how I don't know how I'm gonna approach this then. Maybe I'll just like go through the VODs and watch the PvP interactions and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to do. That sucks. Because I really want to watch what everyone else does and like what, you know, what class they go with and what, you know, items they like using. That's such a problem! Because I want to watch like Ouroboros, right? Like he's one of my favorite streamers and he's obviously going to play it. I want to watch that. I want to watch Cairo. I want to watch Beastly. But yeah, it's going to be like impossible not to get spoilers because it's not a linear game. Because if it's a linear game, you can like, okay, I'll just watch up to wherever I am, right? And if they're ahead of me, then I'll just kind of, you know, watch behind, right? No big deal. But that's going to be really complicated. Dude, Brandon, you know, Ouroboros the ninja, right? He's great. I've been watching him since like Justin TV days, dude. And yeah, he respects the color green, man. He always merch, like his shirts and stuff, they're all green. And in video games, he always goes with the green stuff, right? He knows what he's doing. He knows what's important. I kind of want to do, before we do Protoku, crap, I don't have Gramps on this account though, and having your own Gramps really, I wanted to do double Gramps and see what this thing's death resistance is. I bet you it's pretty high because they really want you to respect these gimmicks. But that'd be pretty cool if you could insta-death it. Alright, here, let me... Where's the sheep? Hopefully I have the sheep here. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's right. The Japanese version came out before the English version for Dark Souls 3. I really doubt that'll happen for Elden Ring because, you know, it's like, I mean, it might come out like an hour before or something like that, but these days it's pretty common for big games like that to come out everywhere at the same time. Because isn't Bamco the publisher, so they're in charge of that stuff. Worldwide release, yeah, it makes sense. Because I think, like, even Arise, Tales of Arise, I think was worldwide, so yeah, I figure. Yeah, Lip is not the best at insta-death. Probably not the worst, though. Wow, this account has way less of these. My main has just, like, so many of these things. I probably just burn more of them or something. I do get a lot less FP on this account, though, than compared to my main. It's not even comparable. Oh, you're right! I remember that now, Beastly. That's right. They just released it early because, yeah, Bamco doesn't do Dark Souls in Japan. Yeah, I wonder if they did that on purpose or if it was just like a... Wait, wasn't it like some bullshit where like it came out on like the store when it wasn't supposed to? Like it came out on the Xbox store when it wasn't supposed to or something like that? It's been so long, dude. Isn't that weird? Dark Souls 3 is like an old game now. It's wild. Yeah, there was like some mishap going on, I think. You could play it, change your region, oh my god. I wish our taunt walls weren't gonna be a thing here. I'd make it harder with the way this stage is. So Beastly, do you think Sony's gonna put Bloodborne on PC? Because they've been trying to bring more stuff to PC in general, so I kind of wonder. I kind of think they're gonna put it out on PS5 as like a remaster or whatever, and then a while after that put it on PC. I feel like they want to milk it more. Wait a minute. It does the debuffs even when your taunts are alive. Do I cast the first skill now? Yeah, I think I do. Oh right, it was in that leak. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. It was in that like NVIDIA graphics card thing. Like they're at least like playing with the idea, and I'm glad. I know like what goes on mechanically in Bloodborne because I looked into that a lot, but I've never actually played it, and I don't know like the maps or the boss movesets at all. I don't know anything about the boss movesets and stuff, so I've always wanted to play it, but I never wanted to buy a PlayStation just for it. So I'm glad to finally get to do that. Yeah, I can't even imagine playing a game like that in 30 frames per second. Like, cause sometimes like the roll timing is really tight, and like that can just be so awful. I just wish Bloodborne had good PvP, but it's really bad. It's like really, really bad, and that's sad. Did not get my MP there. Doesn't it lose frames sometimes Like it goes below 30 sometimes. Yeah, I know the soundtrack to Bloodborne. I always, dude, I listen to soundtracks to like anime that I've never watched and games I've never played. I do that all the time. Like I've always said, the majority of music, like in my videos, are definitely from things that I've seen or played. But there's a good chunk that I haven't. Like I like to just look out for random soundtracks. Like I'll even listen to soundtracks for like anime that I would never watch, just to see, because you never know. You get surprised sometimes. Where you hear a pretty good tune from like a genre of something that you don't even like. Alright, I have 2 debuffs. Is that enough to just remove it? Probably. Man, Protoku's kind of kicking ass with the anti-debuff thing here, really working out for him. Pretty good damage with that, with not having the event CE or any of that nonsense. It's a beast. You know, every time we attack, there's a chance to get debuffed. Every time he attacks, there's a chance to be debuffed. And at the end of the turn, there's a chance to be debuffed. It's actually normally guaranteed. It's just we have so much debuff resist. Like none of those hit us there. It's pretty great. Yeah, Protoku kind of acing this right now. He's got 1 more hit of evade. I guess I just invulnerability, and then the last hit of evade will tank the NP next turn. It's kind of fancy. What I would really like to see, this is not going to happen, this is definitely copium, but I'd love it if FromSoft was just lightly involved with whatever Sony wants to do with Bloodborne. Now they're probably going to be too busy. But if you could get like Prepare to Die edition, you know, upgrade to Bloodborne, that would be great. Because I know there was a lot of cut content and stuff. That would be really cool, like to have like an extra like DLC or just even just a few extra, you know, little things here and there, like an extra boss here and there, extra item here and there. Because one issue Bloodborne definitely has is a lack of items. Like it doesn't have a lot of weapons. The weapons are very fleshed out. But there's so few of them, it's kind of sad. Oh, it's right, I saw that a while ago, but that studio closing, that's unfortunate. Kind of weird too, because Bloodborne was so successful. Nice try, guy. We're at full health, 0 dots. Pretty great. Well, what NVIDIA said was PR. Like 100%. No one is going to have a leak like that and be like, oh yeah, guys, that's totally a thing. But also the way they said it, it's pretty obvious that a lot of that stuff the developers are clearly thinking about doing. Now, it's true that sometimes companies try things and they start testing things, start making drivers for things, and it doesn't come to fruition. That happens, that absolutely happens. So it's not like everything on that list is absolutely guaranteed, but I would be willing to say most of the stuff on that list is probably going to happen. And because the thing is, NVIDIA didn't say, oh, no, guys, this stuff is just bullshit. They didn't say that, right? So I think most of that stuff is going to happen. But it is not the same thing as a confirmation, and some of those things could be down the line too. Like it wouldn't shock me if like Sony puts out Bloodborne on PS5 and then waits a while to put it on PC, right? They want, because again, everyone fears piracy, especially in Japan. So that's a huge reason why a lot of games don't come to PC. So they like to. That's so common. Japan does this all the time, where they put games out on console first, and then once they think they get like most of the sales out of it there, then they put it on PC. It's just so common. So I could see Sony doing that. Because they want it to be a system seller, right? They want to get people to go. They want to put out Bloodborne, make everyone think it's going to be PS5 exclusive, get a few people to buy PS5s that wouldn't otherwise, and then later put it on PC, and then get the money from the people that are only going to play PC anyway, right? Yeah, there's really no telling when some of that stuff is going to happen. Bloodborne was really the only one I cared about, though. A lot of those other games just aren't really my cup of tea. The good news is, though, I got my my capture card working again, and I got the sound all sorted and stuff. So if I want to stream Armored Core, you know, Metroid Dread, Bloodborne, whatever, I can do that now. Because ever since I got my new computer, I hadn't set it up, and it's kind of wonky to set up and fix the sound issues. But I got it, so. Yeah, both Xbox and PlayStation have started to bring things to PC. Neither of them have really just jumped on 100% full sail, and they keep trying to make their own game store work and crap like that. You know, Valve was so successful, everyone wants a piece of that pie, but they don't understand. It's just like Amazon. Nobody wants to use second Amazon, right? They're just going to use Amazon. Like, it's Steam won, so it's so stupid to make your own video game store because nobody wants two of them. Like, nobody wants 2, 3, or 4 of them, right? And everyone keeps trying to get a slice of that pie, but it's just not going to happen. Like, there's no way. Like, even the Epic Game Store, which is operating at a loss because they keep doing like all these incentives and stuff, they're not really getting a market share either, and they're having to take this massive, you know, loss right now. If anyone does make it, though, it will be Epic Games, just because they are doing crazy stuff trying to make it work. I mean, they're basically giving away free games. They're basically paying you to start using the Epic Store, but I don't know if it's going to work in the long run or not. It's hard to say. This is the dragon. We'll just murder this because there is just so much RNG in this fight with the buff removal. I have my own Ziggurat, but does anybody, because I remember I used my Siegfried here, and he just did so much more damage than I thought he would. He did like well over 1 million, and he just killed it, even though he's AoE. But does anyone have a disgusting Ziggurat, and we could see how that would do? I have mine, which is good. Mine has got his damage skill at 10, and he's NP3, level 90, so he's definitely good. But I wonder if someone just here happens to have a Ziggurat that's bigger. If they don't, I guess I'll start putting mine up, and then we'll see if someone else has a bigger one. That's right, Arjuna does have one, but she might not be here this second. I have a disgusting Ziggurat, but I'm not logged on that account. I can do it though if you want. If you don't feel like it, Arjuna, don't worry. It's literally, I'm sure mine will work. But if you're like, oh man, I want to show mine off, then by all means. Like, if you want to do it, do it. But if you're like, I don't really want to switch accounts right now, don't bother. Like, it's not like mine sucks or anything. Where do I want to slot them here? I'd rather not. Yeah, no worries. I totally get it. I kind of. No, I guess we'll just do the event CE. We're gonna go full disgusting here. We could do black. I'm sure Black Grail would work too, though. Like, Black Grail's so good. I'm quite confident that would have gotten the job done. I could give him command codes, but it's probably not gonna matter. The thing is, I get why people don't like all the game stores, because, again, it's like no one's going to use not Amazon, right? And nobody wants 30 launchers. Like, I'm telling you, it's not just because, it's not just the people that are trying to be as big as Steam. It's like everyone has a launcher now because, like, well, what if we get, what if we happen to, blow up like Valve did? I mean, it's stupid, right? You got the Blizzard launcher, you've got the EA launcher, it fucking was EA Origin, right? You got the Epic Games Store. Ever since Steam blew up, everyone does it now, and it is so fucking obnoxious. And it's just hopeless because they're never gonna have the success that Valve had, because there's just certain things in the market that you're not going to have multiple things be successful, right? Now, some things aren't like that. Some things you can have competition and have multiple options, and that's fine. But when it comes to things like a platform like Amazon and things like that, you rarely are going to have more than one platform really succeed. And every game store is obviously, it's kind of like when you have like a game get big and everyone starts making games similar to it, but they make it too similar, right? They don't put a twist on it. They're just like, oh yeah, this is like, it's like when someone copies Call of Duty and it's just so similar to Call of Duty. It's like, well, everyone is just gonna, they already have Call of Duty. They're just gonna play that. right? It doesn't normally work, and it's the same thing with everyone trying to make a game store like Steam. It's not gonna work, right? Like Epic Store is the only one that has any traction, but that's because they're literally paying developers, you know, an insane amount of money to, you know, just put it on there exclusively. They're trying to like buy their way into the market, which it might work, but I don't know. I'm not sure it's gonna work in the long run. We'll see. But I totally get why people aren't really a fan of it, because it is annoying. I don't like dealing with all those different launchers and having, because you have to because here's the thing, most people are going to use Steam like 95% of the time and then use Epic Store 5% of the time, or none. But so even if you do, like, okay, fine, I want the game, so I'll get the Epic Store, you're probably not going to use the Epic Store very often, and then when you finally go back to it, it's like, oh my god, I have to update it, what was my password? And it's annoying, it really is, because if you're not using it as frequently as you might use Steam or something else, you know, every time you're gonna have to update it and update it and update it, and then it's super obnoxious. I honestly, Uplay, that's the one, Uplay. Who the fuck wants to use Uplay, right? Because again, you don't play those games very often, and then on the blue moon that you feel like, hey, I wouldn't mind playing this game, and it happens to be run by Ubisoft, it's like, oh great, now I've got to update Uplay again or install it because I don't even have it, and then you have to update it, and like, what's my password? And then you got to do the caption, and it's like, nope, I don't even remember my password, now I have to make a new one, and then you use it 3 months from now, and you have to do it all over again, right? Like that, nobody wants this, right? It's so crappy, and I stand by this. Ubisoft is shooting itself in the foot, because they're thinking, oh, if we get people to use Uplay, or, you know, EA Origin, or whatever the hell it's called, an Epic Play Store, they think that they're going to get like eyes on their other products and get them to buy more stuff like that, and they might get some of that, but really no one out there is like a Ubisoft loyalist. Like literally no one is like that, right? They're just a publisher people put up with, right? So they're better off putting their games out there on Steam and on Xbox and on PlayStation and such, to just get more eyes on their products, to just so more people buy it. Like, that's just, they're not in that area where they're gonna. I think one of the only developers that can really succeed in this area is like Nintendo, because Nintendo fanboys are pretty zealous and they really will buy things just because it's Nintendo. So like the Nintendo Play Store does pretty well for itself. And honestly, if Nintendo could get their shit together, which they can't because they have no idea how they are so bad at running online systems and doing PC. But if there was a company that could make a PC store work, it would be like in terms of market stuff, not in terms of like, you know, UI and that kind of stuff, but it's Nintendo. If Nintendo came to PC and they started putting out their games on PC and you had to get a Nintendo launcher, that would probably be successful because Nintendo fans are insane. I'm not sure it would be more successful than if they just put it on Steam, because you're just gonna have so many more eyes on it like that. Like if they did, even old Nintendo games like fucking Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine and I mean hell, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, if those just came, if they didn't put them all out once, but you sprinkle them out, if they just suddenly on Steam and they're on upcoming and all that, that's gonna sell like crazy. You put Mario 64 on Steam, I guarantee you it's gonna be a top seller. I guarantee it. As long as it's a halfway decent port and everything, even though people can play it on emulator and everything, doesn't matter. It's gonna, I buy it, right? Like everyone's got, so many people would buy that, right? You go out, you put like fucking Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance and those old Game Boy Fire Emblem games on Steam, gonna be a top seller. Guarantee it, gonna be a top seller. Right, and then you start slowly working towards the newer stuff. I mean, imagine if they put Smash Ultimate on Steam. Like, it's gonna sell, like, okay, it would be nuts, right? It would be absolutely nuts. And then even imagine this. Imagine if, by the way, the Smash, like, veterans would have a field day murdering everyone. But imagine if they got a really competent, like, you know, developers to make a Smash PC port. I mean, a really competent developer, right? They really knew what they were doing, and they had crossplay with the Switch version. You know, they had good anti-cheat and all that kind of stuff. You know, they did it all proper. So the player base would just come massive, and then a lot of people like, oh, I can get into Smash now because there's a lot of new players, so it'll be easy to find people on my skill level. You know, it's going to be like a big PR boost. The sales on that would just be legendary, right? And again, the ultimate veterans would have a field day murdering all the noobs, and it would be hilarious. But like that would be nuts. But it's never going to happen because Nintendo is terrible at understanding online markets and especially when it comes to PC. But you know, it is what it is. All right, we need budget support, I guess. I guess we could do non-budget support for Sigurd if we wanted to. It's not like this account has Merlin or anything, so it's not even that disgusting. Sega just released Judgment yesterday on PC because they were worried that the rip of the main character and wait, what? Lost Judgment, I don't even know what that is, but oh, they released it but not on PC because they were worried that they would rip the main character and use it for porn. Okay, newsflash, they're gonna do that anyway. I'm just gonna point that out. It doesn't, if you're a popular IP or even a semi-popular IP, it doesn't matter if it's on PC, Game Boy Advanced, you know, PlayStation, it doesn't matter. There's gonna be porn of it before it's even released, right? I guarantee you there's Elden Ring porn right now and the game's not even out yet. I guarantee you it's out there, right? It's just, there's no stopping it. Don't even bother. Like, literally, don't bother. If you're a developer, just don't even touch it, right? Don't try to stop it. Don't interact with it. Just accept it. It's part of life. Just move on, right? Like, trying to stop that is such a lost cause. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, Japan. Anyway, that's probably, that wouldn't surprise me though. That's another PR thing where, although that's that is a concern of theirs and it's like the thing to blame, it wouldn't shock me if the real reason they're doing it is just because they fear piracy on PC, because they always fear piracy on PC because they don't know how to do math, but you know. I've never played Guilty Gear Strive, but I've watched plenty of it. I mean, I don't have a problem with it like gameplay wise. It's not my favorite from a system standpoint. It is definitely not my favorite fighting game. There's a lot that I like more, but I don't dislike it either. It's a perfectly reasonable fighting game. I have no problem with it. However, basically every Guilty Gear character that I like is not playable in it. You know, there's no Judgment. There's no Robo-Kai, right? Like anything that I'd actually want to play in Guilty Gear is not a thing. So, but between it not being my favorite fighting game from a system standpoint, and then all the Guilty Gear characters that I like not being in it, it's a pretty easy pass for me. And I also don't really have the free time for a fighting game right now because fighting games are a huge time commitment if you want to get really good at them. Obviously you can play them casually, but generally that, you know, there's not it's a pretty short shelf life for that kind of thing. Am I gonna Chin Gong waiver? I'm probably gonna Chin Gong waiver here. Do I just Shakespeare? I wish this account had more ways of doing what I want to do right now, but I could do the poster goal thing, but the boss just doesn't, because it's AoE, I don't think we bother with that. I don't have Nightingale, I've got Shakespeare. So we're gonna buff Chin, oh wait, if I buff Chin Gong though, the boss might just buff remove me. I can stun it, so it can't do that. Okay, that's definitely the plan then. I don't have Ox King on this account because I didn't want to do Go West. I wish I had at least done it to have gotten one copy of Ox King, even if I didn't limit break it, but I didn't think of that at the time. So his CE is probably not gonna matter. Most of our CEs aren't gonna matter. I guess I do NP charge on death. Boy, I love Chin Gong, dude. What a great thing for the game. You get to just, oh my god, you get to do so much great stuff like this. Where like you can have the unit that's getting killed overcharge Chin Gong's NP so he does more damage as he kills them. I love that stuff. And you get to activate stuff like this automatically. And then when they force those idiotic story supports down your throat, you can just throw them right out the window. I absolutely love it. All right, we can get one more support. I guess Penth. Okay, I don't have any CEs really worth using. I doubt this stage drops any event mats, but just in case it does. Wasn't somebody close to getting Bond 11 or something? Okay, yep, that's getting pretty close. Might as well work on that. If you can get 30 SQ, why say no? Yeah, I mean, there's a real difference between, you know, making like deep fake stuff like porn and whatnot of real people compared to fictional stuff. There's a huge difference there, but that's obviously not what Sega is addressing there. Okay, so stun, click buttons, go boom. I get, okay, yeah, I guess the whole on death thing won't even matter because waiver stuff. It's not gonna be enough to get to 200%. What a shame. Oh crap, wait, I gotta restart. We can do better. We might as well have waiver NP because we get the defense down. Yeah, there's no reason not to do that. Gotta be fancy here. I feel bad for Zaw, man. At least you get the rerun, right? They're never gonna skip a rerun on a summer event, so you'll probably be able to get it then at least. So which Canis do you like better? I'm gonna guess Lancer, but I'm curious which one. Like, I mean, it's essentially the same character personality-wise, right? It's just sprite and skills and, you know, that nonsense. And obviously it's a bit more jokey because Summer is always like that. Let's see, do this. Lancer not even close, yeah, same boat for me. The only summer version, or really even alternate version, really, that is potentially I like more than the original is Martha, just because punching stuff is awesome. But I don't, it's like I don't like Caster Gill nearly as much as Archer Gill. I don't like Caster Ku nearly as much as Ku. I don't like Ryder Mordred nearly as much as Mordred. Like, there's almost no exceptions to that. I generally like the normal version of characters the most by far. Especially though when it comes to summer servants, because they're way more silly and that kind of thing. Where like Caster Gill is still a serious thing. I guess we art chain just on the off chance that we get to 200%, but I don't see how that's even remotely possible. Shielder Leonidas feels bad. And yeah, Nobu has like his multiple serious takes on the character, because you have Redline, you have Guda Guda, you've got Demon Nobu, right? I guess Demon Nobu is probably my favorite just because it is more serious, so I guess that's one. Actually, with On Death from Waiver, if he gave us 20%, we're not that far off here. Because we would be at, yeah, because you could do like art, the 2 art cards if I'd gotten them before the NP, so it actually is kind of possible. But the guaranteed defense down, I think, is better. Yeah, command spell. That's another way. Oh, is Zigguard an event servant? I think he is, because he has a summer version. So I think he gets a 30% damage bonus, because Siegfried got that as well. Oh boy, I'm pretty sure we're about to witness a very dead dragon. Alright, chat. Guess the damage. I'm gonna guess, I'll wait for chat a little bit here. 4. I'm gonna say 3.5 million. This is hard to add up though, because we don't have as many buffers as normal, but then there's the event bonuses and everything. It's a lot to factor in here. Okay, I think I may be overestimating a little bit. Huh, I mean, that's good. It's basically 2 million. It was 1.9, but it was so far into 1.9. That's essentially 2 million. That was pretty good. That wasn't as good as I thought it would be, though. Because, like, Siegfried was like 1.3 million or something like that. And he's AoE, so I kind of figured Zigguard would be even better. But and Zigguard got that upgraded in P recently and such. But I guess we didn't have as many buffers. Still very dead, though. Like, I mean, just casual 2 million, that's still pretty damn good. Not quite as many chests as I was hoping for here, but we got a few more stages I think we can do. Or do we? Is it yeah, I guess the Taiga one's the last one, damn. So we're gonna be at about 65k. So we need another 5k. Damn. We'd probably get pretty damn close if I did the Taiga thing, but I really want that video. Why couldn't I have just gotten a CE drop? Yep, there it is. Damn it, Vertra. Alright. I think we'll have to save it for next time. It's already so late. Damn it. I probably won't do a bonus stream today just because I'm a little bit behind on things and I want to go record that Hercules thing. But I do want to play some Arknight soon and obviously more Tales of Arise and that kind of thing. But I think we'll just wrap up for today. It kind of sucks we didn't really get to what we wanted to do, but I swear we're getting this bloody event CE. I didn't even have account reviews ready to do today. That's why I didn't do any. I forgot to download any. Actually, there's one that I didn't do from last time. So let's do that before we wrap up. We'll do one account review because we have Lobster, which is a great name. And I had downloaded that prior and I had forgot to get around to it. So let's do that real quick. That's a good way to wrap up the stream, I feel. All right. Let me get the camera fixed here. Not gonna lie, I'm tempted to do some Armored Core bonus streams soon, but I might wait until Tales of Arise is done and that kind of thing. Okay, what do we got here? Hey Grain Man, this is my NA account. I've been playing since right before the release of the American Singularity back in 2018, so quite a while. I usually just like to use my favorite units and try to keep my setups limited to 1 gold unless there's something in particular I want to do. That's a really fun way to play the game in my opinion. As far as boss fights go, I used an EMEA setup for Gwaine fight as well as the Salter Anniversary quest. I soloed, well, so EMEA versus the Salter Anniversary quest, that's kind of interesting. I soloed Guadia with Aussie. I also used Aussie's setup to beat the Achilles fight during Guildfest. Those are just some of the big ones I can remember. Anyway, I hope you enjoy my account. I usually stay pretty clean on the big story bosses. As far as classes and gimmicks go, as far as you see something I'm missing, feel free to shout it out. Also, sorry if this looks a little rough on my laptop. I took a shit on me, so I had to do this all on my phone. Oh, so yeah, you're just, these are phone pictures, right? Hence the blue bars. That's fine, you can see it, no problem. Let's see, so 136 gold apples, that's decent. Okay, so this is definitely a flex account because it's pretty far in, which is not surprising. I might have a favorite. Masashi is 2K. Her and Mordred are both 110. Going to get Mordred from the SSR ticket and going to try and get a couple more copies. The APOC banner also. Oh, so yeah, so you like Mordred a lot, but she's only NP1, so it feels bad. But that's what 5-star ticket is for. I really do like using the tickets to get NP ranks of your favorites opposed to getting new units, because it kind of gets your favorite units in their like really good form, if you will. Gonna try to get last copy of Masashi from the download campaign. Siegfried copy, all just Siegfried copies all just kind of showed up. Well, he is a 4-star. Honestly though, I never feel bad when I have a 5-star or even a 4-star at NP3 or NP4. I never feel pressured to go for NP5. Yeah, it's nice. If they're their absolute favorite character, then I might go for it sometimes. But it's not that big of a damage difference. And golds, like 4 and 5 stars, perform so well at NP2 or 3 that, like, my Gilgamesh has been NP4 for just so many years. And, you know, I've thrown some summon tickets and some SQ here and there trying to get NP5, but I don't care. It's like, it never bothers me that he's NP4. He performs amazing as is. Like, a lot of people get like, oh, they don't feel complete. They're so complete, like even at NP2, so it's not a big deal. So let's see. So you got all kinds of AoE sabers, Mordred, Arthur, they're both 10-10, Artoria. You can do lots. Shame that all of them are NP1 though, because you could use all 3 of those together with like normal starting NPCEs, and you can easily just 3-turn that way. I do that all the time. Bit harder when they're all NP1 though. But got super strong Masashi there for single target. What do you got for backup though? Not a lot, because Hokusai's scuffed, Liz is scuffed, Lancelot's scuffed. You got Bedivere. Okay, you got NP5 Bedivere, and he's 666. That's good. That's fine. You really could use another single target Saber though, just to be safe, or just unscuff some of the ones that you have. But yeah, you're a lot of AOE. You have Rama, but let's be honest, chat. Rama's not that good of a backup Saber because they hate him. As evident by his wife isn't in the game. Emiya is pretty rad. I tell you, I figured you liked him from what you said earlier. I don't know. He and Ishtar are. Bond 10 didn't want Gil. I was just rolling for the event CEs during Gil Fest, and that's why he's so scuffed. I didn't plan for him ahead of time. I mean, you could just use him for keeping the Dragons stage around, right? If you're not really a Gilgamesh fan, you could just unlock the the 1.2 million Dragon stage and just have that around for testing and tomfoolery. It's kind of awesome if you happen to get Gilgamesh and you don't like Gilgamesh, because then you just get a nice stage like that. So Super, Emiya, NP5, 10, 10, 10, all that nonsense. So that's going to perform very well. The nice thing about Emiya is the fact that he's mostly an AoE archer, but he's a serviceable single target archer with his crits. Obviously, he's no Hot Wheels or anything like that, but he's fine. He works well in single target, and you have a lot of challenge quests out there that kind of reward both. Like Summer 3, the Summer 3 challenge quest, it's an AoE challenge quest, but it's really good to be able to single out and nuke down specific enemies. You have the Maze event, the Kama event, challenge quest, same deal. It's an AoE fight, but there's a lot of reasons to just nuke down a specific one, with crits or what have you. And Emiya performs really well in fights like that, as does like Canis, right? Those kind of situations are really good for units like that. So Emiya's a really nice archer. If you level him like this, obviously most people aren't going to be like, NP5 and all that. But if you grail him and just get those skills to 10, 10, 10 and all that, you get a lot of boom for your buck, right? You get a lot of value out of him. So you pass the David test, that's good, and you have Tristan, so you get to do the nice Tristan-David combo, which is super, super good. Let me skip ahead here and see if you have Merlin, because then you have like every option ever for dealing with enemy NPs. Okay, no Merlin, but kind of sounded like you're not really looking to just do OP setups all the time, and you said like keeping it to like just a few golds, which really is a fun way to play in my opinion. It's only using a couple of 4 and 5 stars, because the thing is, like, if you want Emiya to show off, you don't want it to feel like Emiya's just getting carried by like Castoria or whatever, right? You want to be like, oh yeah, you can really see Emiya's value here. He's doing stuff because he's just working with the free-to-play supports that anybody has, right? It's a really good way to show the difference between units, or just see how much you've upgraded a unit and see how much they shine. Because like, for example, let's say you do Emiya with like, Castoria, Waver, Nero Bride, all that bullshit. A lot of times he would have worked at level 80, and there was no point in grailing him, because you're going to overkill by so much because the OP supports are so busted that you're not really seeing the benefit. Where if you grail him and all this stuff, and then you're able to win without those supports and stuff, and do really hard content without those supports, and that can be a really fun thing to see from your favorite units and whatnot. But some people just like seeing disgusting numbers, and they like being as strong as possible and winning as fast as possible, and that's fine too. There's no right way to play the game. I'm just saying, I can really see why a lot of people like not always, getting carried by the OP supports. So you got a Raj. If I want to level that third skill a little bit, I don't know what your craft essences you have, but it is good to get that third skill up so you have more craft essence options for farming, especially when you're like needing to work in event CEs and things like that. But you have plenty of options here. You have loads of single target and AoE, although most of your golds are very low NP rank, but because your Emiya is so upgraded, it's probably fine. But honestly, between Emiya and Tristan, because Tristan's NP3, you're in pretty good shape there, and then once Tristan gets that other buff down the line, he just becomes so insane. Okay, we've got level 80 Ku, so you like Ku, but you're not going like super ham on him, but he is 10, 10, 10, so that's nice to see. And that's very practical. Ku at 80 and 10, 10, 10 is very, very good. A lot of gold lancers, but most of them are NP1. But you've got good skill ranks. Your Scath is super grailed. At NP2, Lion King or Rongo Bongo can do pretty well for farming at least. You might want to get that battery skill up though. So you've got Enkidu for Fluffy and Lost Belt 5 down the road. Even at NP1, Enkidu can just completely wreck Lost Belt 5 and Lost Belt 6. So that's a huge help. Quite a few Scuff Lancers in here too, but the ones you have leveled are so strong it doesn't really matter. So you've got plenty of options. So Demeter is going to die to Ozzy. I just 10, 10, 10, level 100, and then NP2. Alright, this Ozzy can just solo Demeter. Like, Demeter is so dead. You don't need any other rider on the account to deal with Demeter here. And then you've got Kentucky for backup, all kinds of stuff. You even got Ushi, and Ushi's 10, 10, 10. You got Medusa for farming. You got Martha for utility. A very prepared account here. Loads of options for everything. You got George, you got his taunt leveled up nice and proper. Ozzy Go Burr, indeed. This is the older screenshot. Medusa is currently 10, 10, 10. So she got the lures, I guess, coming up from the Guildfest event that he did. Ozzy's 2K foe. Both Ozzy and Medusa are Bond 10. Okay, I did not want Scatty at NP4, but here we are. Well, why'd you keep rolling then, right? Well, I don't think she was rated up with anything, was she? What sucks about Scatty is like her NP ranks don't even matter. Like it doesn't matter at all. At most you want her NP2 just because of like the battery drain stuff on some bosses. But other than that, she's really pointless at NP3 and 4 and 5. But hey, it's great for farming. You wanted Quetz? Oh, was she rated up then? Was there like a rotating banner there? Quetz was duo? Okay, that makes sense. Cause he said he liked Quetz. And she's 10, 10, 10. Not surprised she's in P1 though, cause duo banner. So you got Waver for farming. Between Waver and Scatty, you're gonna have no problems farming. You got Asclepius and Martha, so you're good on the anti-debuff. Skill ranks are good. Maybe get that Avisibron third skill up though, especially if you're wanting to, not get carried by OP supports. Asclepius, you got most of your like typical supports are ready to go. You got Hans, you got Qin Gong. You're way more set than most of the accounts we see. But I think it is bad to on an account this established. It's not going to be that hard for you to get a VC Bronze third skill up, and I think it'd be really worthwhile because you got Mozart, you got Shakespeare, you got pretty much got everything but a VC Bronze. I keep wanting to say Asclepius. But yeah, I'd say VC Bronze is totally worth getting that third skill to 10. He's nice and he's good for farming too. He's not really a waste. Although you already have Nitocris and NP3, so I'm sure you don't have farming issues on this account in any area. But yeah, that's about the only thing I can even remotely recommend here. Your assassin slot's looking a little bit weaker here. I mean, Shooting's super good for AoE, and she's NP2, 10, 10, 10, so she's really ready. But a lot of your assassins are pretty scuffed here. I'll be honest, my assassin is probably my weakest class. Yeah, absolutely, it's not even close. Kojiro and Shiki are usually deal with the problem well enough. Shooting is Bond 10. Let's see. So Gray is scuffed as hell for farming, so maybe get her to 80 and get her skills up if you need help with farming there, but I don't know what your berserkers are like. Shiki though and Shooting, like that will deal with most things. If you ever had a boss that you were really having a problem with, 100 Face would probably be the one to level because she's better than a lot of... 100 Face is better than Kuretsugu, she's better than Yan, she's better than Chiome. It's sorry state of affairs, but she is. You have to get up to the really bananas assassins to really be better than 100 Face, right? Like Jack, stuff like that, Lee, Kama, those can be definitely worth leveling over 100 Face. But a lot of the typical 4 stars, they're not as good as 100 Face. But Shiki's so good that I think you're fine, like no big deal. So you probably don't need to level Gray then if you've got Masashi. Like if you're dealing with a rider stage, you've got, between Waver and everything, you have so many ways to get like good AoE farming in. You have AoE servants like Mordred and such that could do the early waves even if they're not counterclassing. You've got Spartacus, maybe level that 3rd skill though and the damage skill to help with farming, but you probably don't need it. If I was gonna level anything here, I'd probably level Hijikata just because you're in a luxury spot. Like a lot of people, they gotta get those fundamentals up. You've already got your fundamentals. And the reason I'd recommend Hijikata is just because there's random challenge quests and main story fights that he can just make so much easier randomly. Not necessarily often, but there's some pretty nasty boss fights out there that Hijikata can just like randomly solo or work with some pretty basic supports and be super OP for. Like and most of your like good options you've already got leveled. So he's one of the few things I noticed that you could really benefit from leveling that would give you some nice options that you don't really have. It's like him, a VC Braun, and get Tristan to 10-10-10 because he's close. And when Tristan gets buffed, it's crazy. But this account is super strong. Jolter's 2K foe. Man, so many 2K foes in NA already. I'm used to that on JP, but not in A. I guess it's just been a while. I'm old, man. I'm old. So, a funny story. Jolter was my first SSR. I got her from a single ticket. Feels good. I have her since I spent around 1,200 quartz trying to get a second copy. Oh, so you got her in one ticket, and then you got destroyed trying to get NP2 because she's still not NP2. This has not worked the way I wanted it to. Melt helps pick up some of the assassin and caster slack. Yeah, Melt's good like that. Your Melt's only NP1, but she's 10-10-10 and Melt is so good. Wow, that sucks that after all this time, you've only got Jolter at NP1, because you clearly like her a lot, because she's 10-10-10, she's Grail, she's 2K foed. That really sucks, man. Hopefully you get her from like a GSSR or some nonsense. Still no animation update over on JP. But I imagine you're hoping that happens. Any day, it could happen, right? In some event. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna have Space Jolter in Summer Saber Wars 3. You never know. You got that Ongra though, only 1-1-1. You got Mash 10-10-10. That'd have been fail if you didn't. Got Joan of Arc. You don't really need Lobo unless you like him because you have Jolter for Avengers stuff and you have plenty of buff removal with your other options with Tristan and Martha, so no big deal. You got multiple 50% starting NPCs, goes in you. You got some Guts ones in there, you got Star Bomb. How much starting NP stuff do you got though? Oh, look at the Jolter one at 100. Wait, do we have Golden Sumo? Because you had Kentucky. I don't know why it's sorted like this. It makes it really hard to find what's 100. Oh, there it is. Okay, good to see. I gotta make sure because some people missed it or then they don't level it, and I can't imagine leveling. I'm honestly surprised you leveled Drunken Jolter to 100 if you had Golden Sumo. I'm really surprised by that. But hey, it's still a good CE. So it's not a bad thing. Man, this guy plays the game. He's got the Nightingale one. A lot of people did not limit break that one because it was so hard to get that limit broken. You got Ox King, got the Da Vinci one. A lot of stuff here. Lots of K scopes. Any super scopes though. Oh, don't want to show that count recovery stuff there. Let's see. I don't think he has super scope. I mean, might have been like super leveled though if he did. Yeah, I don't think he's got a super scope yet. That's actually pretty unlucky with how long he's been playing the game. And he's close. He's close. He's got Poster Girl. Oh, well, that's even more reason to level your VC Braun. Like if you have Poster Girl, a VC Braun combo is so good. Aerial Drive at 94. Damn. Okay, well, we're in pretty good shape, I would say. I don't think he's going to have any problems. But yeah, I think Hijikata would be a fun level. Unless you don't like him. It's not like you have to have him. You have plenty of options here. Gib Sumo, maybe someday. I see. Alright, boys. I think it's enough FGO today. I'm gonna go relax. That was a longer stream than I thought. Time kind of flew there for me. It's already really late. I don't know how that happens some days, but tomorrow, I swear, we're gonna get the stupid CE and finally use Proto Q. I cannot believe it's taken this long, but RNG's a bitch. All right, let's see if there's somebody to raid here. What do we got? Who is playing FGO? Here we go. This guy's playing some Lost Belt 4. I see Pepe on the screen, and that's a good reason to raid somebody. Alright, boys. Go get them. Don't be rude. And I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Try to get a bonus stream in there as well. And yeah, I will see you guys then. Peace.